Good afternoon and welcome to Anglesey Road in Dublin 4 to Merrion Cricket Club. You're just joining us on this Cricket Leinster live stream of the LHK Insurance Middle Cup final. You've seen the touching images on your screen there of a moment's solidarity in honour of the Black Lives Matter movement that has really swept the world in its power. Lovely to see that before this, both sides agreeing they'd like to do that before this cup final. And it's YMCA thirds against Merrion thirds. It's the old Sandymount affair. Andrew Leonard here, and I've got former Ireland women's captain and Merrion long-standing member. Kind of tone down the bias throughout the afternoon, aren't we? You're going to be completely impartial. I've got Isobel Joyce to my right.
Well, I think there might be some Clontarf people watching who might consider me a Clontarf faithful now, so I can certainly be unbiased, and mostly I'm just excited to watch really good cricket on a beautiful day. It's been fantastic weather this whole weekend, and we're culminating in a great contest between two great clubs.
You can take the Joyce out of Merrion, but you cannot take the Merrion out of Joyce. You guys, the entire family, so iconic in their association with Merrion Cricket Club. And great to hear Isobel's thoughts throughout the day. Got a little guest slot coming up later on. I'm not going to give away the surprise, but there might be a family connection, so stay listening with us. We'll hear from John Anderson later on as well. And we're in for the most beautiful afternoon of cricket coming up. We've got Merrion, the hosts, who are going to bat first. Tim C. Canjuda, joined by Timothy Knight. Looks to me as though Tim C. is going to take the first ball.
Yep, a good opening pair here. Timsy and Tim. Steve Woods just signalling that it'll be right arm over from the Stevenson's end. Steve Wood and opening the bowling will be Naufal Ahmed Amanullah.
Yeah, Naufal Amanullah is going to come right arm over to get us going. And look at that, for a perfect forward defence. Not what we necessarily associate with T20 cricket, but nice to see some good technique worked on right out of the middle of the bat.
Well, there's something to be said for making sure early on, get a good stride in, feel it on the face of the bat. Even though it was a forward defence, it was out the middle, so it makes you feel good. And you know there's another 119 deliveries to come.
I'm going to have the first runs of the afternoon. A quick single run to mid-on, despite a little bit of an accidental coming together between the bowler and batter. The bowler just apologising there, good to see. Luckily we didn't have a direct hit, because a direct hit, I think, could well have been out with the collision between the batter and bowler, but it'll end up with a single, and Canjuda and Merrion's account is underway.
Yeah, unfortunately that's one of those occasions where even if there was no intention from the bowler, the batter is sent packing. Tim Knight facing up. It's good carry, very good carry from Amanullah.
Yeah, an absolute beauty. Beats him outside the off stump. Knight just searching for it, trying to feel bat on ball early in his innings, and through to the keeper. Has to be said, we've seen the whole Cricket Leinster finals weekend. This one of 7 finals, 4 of them we're bringing to you on the live streams. We've seen them played in the most brilliant of spirits. We saw yesterday Kenny Carroll called back, despite the ability to run him out with a delivery to go. And yeah, really touching to see the Black Lives Matter moment agreed between both sides there before play, but just generally a really good spirit, and as probably speaks a little bit about this post-COVID era that we're in.
Yeah, really good to see that yesterday, even though it was the top level, the LHK Insurance Senior Cup League Cup final. Great to see YMCA call Kenny Carroll back to the crease on that occasion, and the bowler today apologising for accidentally getting in the way. That's a full one, thick outside edge. There is a fielder down at third man, so it will just be a third single for the over, with just the single delivery to come.
And both of these clubs are going to be looking for a second trophy, because yesterday it was Merrion seconds that took the IBI Corporate Finance Tulane Cup, and then it was was the LHW Financial Planning Leinster Senior League Cup champions that went to YMCA with those Tectors right to the fore. And the president of the club, Heatley Tector, is here again, looking resplendent in his colourful pants, I'm going to describe them, and the wide-brimmed hat. But Heatley will be thinking about 2 trophies in 2 days.
Well, you can always trust Heatley to wear some bright colours, so you can always pick him out of a crowd, but yeah, he's always well turned out, especially on cricketing occasions. So yeah, one of these clubs will be the only club in the province to claim 2 trophies.
Really good start from Amanullah. He's come in, he's at a good length. A brisk pace for what is now, of course, what we'd probably consider the third or maybe in the 4th 11 level at down the grades. Is this the third tier trophy? Was the YMCA side with the 4th tier?
Yeah, I think that's the right way around. Certainly looks like a good standard from the first over to today. Amanullah, apart from that one wide, on hitting a good length. And we'll have the skipper, Sunny Singh, taking the second over from the Hazeldean end. That's the end that the camera is recording from. We're off to the right as you look at the screen at the clubhouse side of the ground, and the bigger boundary is on your left as you look at the screen.
Yeah, just like Roger Keir earlier on for the Hills seconds. Going to open with spin, and the captain's going to back himself, but from a different end. And interesting to see that he's decided to bowl from this end, because it's a very short boundary in the leg side now.
Yeah, quite a surprise, but obviously backs his skills. We'll be seeing left arm through and around. Bowling to 4 fielders on the offside and 5 on the leg.
That's a lovely shot, just punched through the offside field. Again, a very technically correct, elegant cricket shot all the way along the ground. This outfield is not getting any slower here this afternoon. That's a beautiful shot for 4.
Yeah, what's most impressed me about that shot is how he's kind of hit it on the up. It was by no means a half volley. I don't think there was really much of an attempt to turn the ball, but it was a decent length. Timothy Kanjuda hit it on the top of the bounce through that gap and cover for 4.
The quicker comeback finds the Yorker length. That one really darted in. I think we're going to see lots of variations in pace from Singh. Yeah, those 2 fielders in the deep on the leg side, that's long on, and sort of an old-fashioned cow corner, really. It's going to go down towards long on. It's going to split the 2 of them, in fact. And how quick is this outfield? Really good work by the long on fielder. Pulls it in. The YMCA fielders working in pairs. And that's a couple of runs saved.
Pace off, well picked up from Kanduja, but he's unable to miss the boundary fielder. He'll be kicking himself that he didn't manage to pick that one up. Practices the shot again. Needed to get that one square.
And you might just be able to hear in the very distance a few sort of Indian sounding drums coming across from Herbert Park. A bit of a festival of colours over there perhaps, or something, providing a nice backdrop.
Could just be someone practicing their drumming up in the apartments here that have gone up either. So
is that right? Is that what happens here, is it?
Don't know, just just surmising.
Kind of got a subcontinental vibe to it though, doesn't it? Nice beat to the drum. Feeling a bit more Mumbai than D4 right here, right now, with the sun out and the noise coming in the background. Colourful start to the game. After 2 overs, the score 11 for none.
And so it's the end of the second over. It's probably even at this point. Score 11 for none from 2. We'll see a return of Amanullah for his second over. Bowled with decent pace, hit a good length.
Yeah, and just want to confirm for everyone watching at home that, of course, even though this is 20 over cricket, it's not a T20 that you'll have become very accustomed to with regards to 6 overs of power play with fielding restrictions. So the only law is that you can only have 5 fielders outside the circle at any point, but you can do that right from the start. And you and I got a little confused in that first game, didn't we? We thought there's definitely going to be a no ball signal in I think it was the 3rd or 2nd over one of the games with 3 fielders outside the circle, but you can go on the defensive early.
Yeah, we just got a bit excited, I think, didn't we? But I think it's great to see that people are attacking in their field placement, so they're still not dropping fielders to the boundary too early.
Finds a Yorker length this time. Well dug out by Kanduja. Lovely to see the YMCA team decked out in all their club colours. A big fan of those club caps, the two-tone club caps. What do you think, Is?
Well, there's a mix of caps out there. We've got the skipper at mid-off wearing the newer pink cap. I think the mixed caps are their kind of one-day kit, and the pink is the T20.
Big appeal. Looks like certainly a bit high from my viewpoint here. Is we're side on to the wicket, bringing these pictures from the Merrion commentary box, and looks to me height, and we'll have a look at the line now in a second.
Yeah, Steve Woods had no issues making that decision, shook his head immediately as the question was asked, and I think you're right, it was the height. Kanduja is a diminutive figure, but he was hit rather high.
Yeah, it was just looking back on the replay on our stream on YouTube here in front of us, that was definitely parallel to the crease, probably going on to hit maybe middle stump, but far too high, getting good bounce.
Inside edge, worked into the leg side. There is a fielder out there, and he picks up easily, returns to the wicketkeeper. He's looking a little bit watchful, Tim Knight.
Well, the utter confusion continues to reign because we're just getting messages through saying, no, this one is different to the YMCA Salver final earlier. So we are back to a normal T20, which means we're in the power play phase, which means you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle. That one travels out towards one of them. So it is simple enough. We're probably making it seem a little bit more complicated than it is. But for the first 6 overs, you're allowed to have 2 fielders outside the circle. After that, you're allowed a maximum of 5.
So a couple of inside edges for the Merrion opening pair. Looking a little bit unsure. Bowler apologises. He's going to start that run up again.
Beautifully bowled and well dug out as well by Knight. Good stuff this from Amanullah. Making his way up the grades, and something I love to see, a cricketer bowling in his spectacles. Not too many fast bowlers you see bowling bespectacled. Lots of spinners you do. You think of the likes of Daniel Vittori, but he's coming in, racing in off the long run, and those specs are staying on.
Yeah, it's 3 overs gone. Merrion 14 for none, and it will be that the skipper Sunny Singh returning for his 2nd over. Yeah, good to see the specs. You just got to make sure you got they fit perfectly, and they're not going to fall off when you take your diving catch.
Where you go for the 1980s style band around the back of the head, one I've never gone for myself now, but that's another option. Singh's going to continue through and around. Pulled into the deep. That's going to be the first maximum of the innings. It's going to clonk onto the roof of the Merrion clubhouse. Let's hope the lodger's not up in the apartment there, because that would have given him a rattle. 6 runs.
Yeah, a square leg umpire here. Steve Woods just signals that one's gone over the top, so have a slight delay here as the ball is retrieved from behind the clubhouse.
Izzy, you're the captain of the team. You bowl left arm spin. Why are you bowling from this end?
Well, I've actually done both of those things. Well, I'll say 2 out of 3. I have captained and I bowled left arm spin, and I certainly did not bowl from that end to 2 opening right-handed batters. I'm really not sure. Maybe he just expected to be bowling fuller outside off. There's no real explanation for it.
He does have the 2 men in the deep on the leg side, but it really isn't anything more than a sort of 45, maybe 50-yard hit. Big disparity in the boundaries, with us being quite far across the square today. Fuller this time, good comeback by Singh. Driven, direct hit's going to be close, but not picked up cleanly by mid-off. Get through for a single. Good intent to start with from the home side, Merrion.
Yeah, quick between the wickets, Timsey. And Tim Knight was ready for the quick single as well. So good understanding between this opening pair.
Maybe that's why he's bowling from this end, trying to tempt them into hitting towards that short boundary. Brave bowling, a little bit of flight, a little bit of guile. And again, being side on, it's lovely to see just a little bit of dip that he got that deceived the batsman. Through to the keeper.
Yeah, much improved delivery, that one. There's a lot of power coming in down the order for Merrion, of course. The one I'm looking forward to see is the skipper, Sanath Reddy. Hits a big ball.
Much quicker through the air, and again the attempted sort of hack across the line from Knight. He hasn't really found any timing yet, just struggling a little bit too off. Now 9 deliveries. Kanduja's been the one to find the middle of the bat so far.
That's an excellent delivery. Just pulled the length back, a little bit more flight. The bounce has deceived Knight on that occasion. So Tim Knight just worrying about eating up too many dots.
Really good comeback this from Sunny Singh. Smashed for 6 off the first ball of the over, and he's ended up with 4 dots and a single from the remaining 5. That's what a leader has to do. So difficult as a spinner when your first ball goes for 4. You're put under huge pressure. Sensational comeback from Singh.
Yeah, I love it when you see a spinner who knows he's in a battle and relishes the challenge. So a change in bowling from the Stevenson's end. It's Daniel Swift. Bowled well last weekend in the YMCA semi-final against Wexford Wanderers. Took 3 for 28, the youngster. Bowls medium pace. Right arm over the wicket. So Timsey Kanduja's the one who's been finding the middle of the bat. He's on 18, facing up against the new bowler.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised they didn't keep going with Amanullah. Always a great believer, and particularly not at the very top level where you don't let a batsman settle against a bowler. At the lower level, let the bowler get through his spell. If he's going well, there's nothing to need to change. Why change it?
Well, I think he might be their death bowler. Just judging by his last over, he bowled a lot of Yorkers, so they might be saving him for the back end. Daniel Swift getting into his business very quickly, beats the outside edge beautifully.
Yeah, impressive stuff this. Remember, this is the third 11 of both YMCA and Merrion Cricket Club. We saw yesterday, particularly in the LHW Financial Planning Final, the standard of cricket from YMCA, their fielding was nothing short of outstanding. Very close to the front no ball line there. Steve Wood keeping a close eye on that, just keeping something behind, get through for a single. But yeah, I thought YMCA yesterday, you were looking at not just a first 11 club cricket, but you're talking about a side that would have been well able to field at county level.
Yeah, they're incredible in the field. They, I think that was really one of the biggest differences between the teams. And the fielding today has been impressive, but the big difference being you can take singles to mid-off and mid-on if you're quick between the wickets. I don't think we would have seen that yesterday. Tim Knight managing a single. He's been a little bit stuck, moves to 3. So a good start from the youngster here, Daniel Swift. I've been impressed with him. Saw him play against our under-19s last week in a star-studded YMCA under-19 team. He's bowled alongside the likes of Mikey O'Reilly, who we saw yesterday in that final you just mentioned. And Timsy Kanjuda watchful at the moment.
Dances down the track, that's the pressure. Dot balls and singles, they build pressure in T20 cricket. And with 5 overs gone, the game evenly poised. I'll bid you farewell. Isobel Joyce, I'll leave you in capable hands. The former Ireland international, someone you happen to know reasonably well. Pass you over to John Anderson.
Yeah, we chat a little bit about cricket every now and then. Welcome, John. You know this team very well, being from Merrion yourself. And is this the way you're accustomed to seeing these two back together?
Well, it's a very good start from YMCA so far. Timsy Kanjuja likes to get on with it. Going to just overrun a ball. Tim Knight also likes to get on with it, but a little bit stuck at the moment. He's 3 off 12. Yeah.
And now we'll see another change in the bowling. This time at the Hazeldean end. And it's Mayank Rajput.
Another spinner bowling from the Hazeldean end with the short boundary to the leg side towards the pavilion.
Picked up well by Tim Knight. He manages to evade the fielder on short square leg. And that's his first boundary. Perhaps that'll help him break the shackles in this final.
Overpitched there by Rajput, and Tim Knight. Bit of a swing, evades the square leg fielder and races away for his first boundary. And like you say, hopefully for his sake, it releases the shackles a little bit.
That's hit the middle of the bat, but he's picked out the fielder on that leg side boundary. Really, I have to say, very surprised to see both spinners operating from the Hazeldean end. Much shorter boundary on this side as you look at the screen to the right, and Merrion clearly looking to target that side.
I don't mind too much the left arm spinner bowling from that end, turning it away, but certainly the right arm off spinner when it's turning in with the short leg side boundary, that's definitely a bit of a surprise. I'm sure Timsy's going to look to go this direction.
It's not hit too cleanly, but it's obviously a decision that these two have made. They're going to take on mid-off, mid-on if they're in the ring. Of course, we do have just 2 outside the ring for the final over this power play, long on and a straight mid-wicket. I picked up again from Tim Knight, and he's managed to bisect the fielders. Is two on the leg side to stop that shot, but they don't manage to stop the ball from going over the rope again for a boundary.
Yeah, Tim Knight didn't get all of that, but certainly looking to target the leg side boundary here. Hasn't got the 2 boundaries, haven't been as clean as he would have liked, but anything past that inner ring is going to race away for another boundary. So he's getting himself up and running now. He moves on to 12 of 16 balls.
He's got a hold of that one, and he's managed to hit it between the 2 boundary fielders. One bounce and over the rope, and he elicits a cheer from his teammates who appreciate that he's finally got one out the middle.
Yeah, that was out the middle now. That was an excellent shot. A little bit in the slot there from Rajput. Tim Knight looking to target the leg side boundary once again. And it bisects the long on and the straight mid-wicket. A couple bounces and over the rope for 4. This is an excellent over from Merrion. 14 off it.
And still 1 to come. So it could be a very expensive final over of the power play. Slows it up, but it's down leg side and signalled as such by Venkat Janala. And I was just about to mention the fact that he's bowled a little bit one-paced, but a slower delivery not doing the job. A little bit short. I'm surprised Tim Knight was happy to defend that one, but he pats it back to the bowler. Rajput finishes his first, goes for 15. That brings about the end of the power play. Merrion 38 for naught.
Yeah, good finish to the power play there for Merrion. And even that last ball, Tim Knight watchfully just pats it back to the bowler. I don't mind that. It's important that if you got your 2 men in, just not to lose a wicket right at the end of the power play, just when the fielders drop out. And, you know, you'll be able to now pick up the 1s and 2s from maybe the 7th to the 10th over. But I still think YMCA will be happy with that first 6 overs. Only just a tad over 6 and over on an excellent batting track. And a lightning fast outfield with a short boundary on the right hand side towards the clubhouse.
Yeah, well, as you said, wickets in hand are key in T20 cricket, so managing to keep that wickets column to 0, and Tim C. Kanduja facing up to Daniel Swift again. Harbour down at fine leg as it makes a bit of a meal of that, and it goes for 4. So first time we've seen him stray in line, Daniel Swift. He's been on the money since ball 1 until that occasion.
Yeah, it was an excellent first over from Swift. Only 2 runs coming off it, but that just slightly leg side and a little pad down to fine leg for 4 leg bars.
Just reaching for it, Timsy. It's down the other end. Regardless of the fact that he didn't hit the last ball, always good to see someone able to take a single after a boundary scored.
Yeah, the field has just relaxed a little bit, mid-on, right on the ring, not saving the single. There's a cow corner in place and a deep extra cover now being pushed back.
Once again down leg, a bit of a hopeful appeal from third man. Unable to see that hadn't clipped the bat as it went down leg. Yep, as you said, four fielders are on the boundary now. Cover, third man, fine leg, and that's straight mid-wicket.
Yeah, there certainly is a lot of singles on offer now for the Merrion opening pair. They short 1 batsman regular in their team today. That's Vickers Demon, who had an unfortunate injury last week.
And he's castled him straight through the defences of Tim Knight. Looked to pat that one back to the bowler. Doesn't manage to make contact. And he's got to go. It's been a bit of a struggle for Tim Knight, and he's gone for 16.
What a ball from Daniel Swift. Just nips back in, straight through Tim Knight. And clean bowled. Oh, stump out the ground. That's an excellent delivery. The first for YMCA, Merrion 44 for 1.
Slightly odd to watch that celebration, wasn't it, John? Used to people, especially in finals, running in, big celebrations, high fives, hugs and all that. But skipper Sunny Singh was careful to run into his team and remind them they have to keep socially distant. So great to see them doing that.
Yeah, certainly for a delivery like that, you want to be going up and giving your fast bowler a half 5 or a half 10. But no, you can't be doing that this year.
So first wicket falls for Merrion just outside the power play. Still lots of the innings to go. Lots of opportunities to make a big score. I reckon Merrion will be looking at 140, 150, especially with this short boundary to one side. So it's Raghav Khurana facing up. Inside edge off his first delivery. He'll get off the mark straight away.
Yeah, important for Raghav Khurana just to tick it over for his first few deliveries, get himself maybe 6 off 6 or 10 off 10. Have a look.
Short again. Tim C. Kanduja pats that one back. And if you're just joining us, this is the LHK Insurance Middle Cup between Merrion 3s and YMCA 3s. Merrion have won the toss and they're batting first. They're currently 45 for 1 from just over 6 overs. Fuller asked the question and Steve Woods shakes his head straight away. He was certain immediately. I think that might have got an inside edge, John.
Yeah, he's given it as runs. I don't know if, certainly 2 noises there and signalled as runs. So Stafford appeal. That ends the 7th over, 8 off it. As I was saying there a little bit earlier, that Vickers Demon not playing for the Merrion Threes today. He's been a stalwart of this team this year. Unfortunate injury last year where a collision in the outfield in the semi-final. And the fielder that he collided into stood on his hand and had a number of stitches in his hand. You wouldn't believe it, but the very next ball, the ball went up in the air. Keeper called for it. Timsy Kanjuja also thought it was his. They collided. Timsy got a knee in the face. He plays in spectacles. Got a massive gash above the eye. And in the space of 2 balls, 2 Merrion players were rushed off to hospital.
So change in the bowling. No surprise there. William Connellan comes on from the Hazeldean end. It was a rather expensive previous over. So change in the bowling.
Yeah, so good to see Timsy Kanjuja back playing today after that nasty injury where his spectacles gave him a massive gash above the eye.
So a bit of a pause in proceedings as YMCA make sure they're happy with their field. They've got five out on the boundary, 2 straight, 2 leg side and 1 on the offside. Right arm spin. Kanduja takes it on straight away, just about falls short of the boundary, and another 4 for Timsy Kanduja.
Excellent shot there, Timsy Kanduja. Slog sweep, 1 bounce, bang into the clubhouse. That was right out the middle of the bat. He's definitely in his stride now. I don't think that gash above his eye is making any impact to his batting today.
Well, John, as someone who's captained a lot in Merrion, are you surprised to see 3 spinners from one end? Leading edge, but it does evade that fielder mid-wicket.
Yes, YMCA bowling all the spin from the Hazeldean end today. William Connellan, an off spinner, so turning into the right-handers here. Certainly going to be targeting the short leg side boundary.
This fielder on the leg side just come a little bit squarer. Plays that one straight. There is a fielder back, but it's going to fall just short. Just about hit the ring here on the offside. But he's got into his work straight away, Raghav Khurana. Just going at a run of ball. Timsy gets hold of that one. Really well fielded, though. A lot of work on this boundary for these fielders. There's 3 of them out here. And Timsy, I think, will be aiming up next time.
Yeah, he absolutely smashed that. A little bit more elevation for Timsy, and he definitely won't have any problem clearing the clubhouse. A little bit slower from William Connellan, and Raghav Karuna missing out. Outside off. Umpire Venkat Yanala calls that a wide.
Well, I don't think that was where that was supposed to go. It was supposed to go leg side for a single, and Timsy Kanduja so keen to get back on strike that he's almost run himself out. Down the track, hits that straight down the ground. It will be collected by the fielder at long on, though. Comes back for 2, Kanduja, but William Connellan can't collect it in time to take the bail, so he survives, and another 2 runs to the total for Merrion as we end the 8th over. Merrion 56 for 1.
Another good over there for Merrion. 10 off that. So 15 and 10 runs in the two overs there from the Hazeldean end. They definitely, I suppose, the home team targeting the shorter boundary. Timsy Kanduja 28 off 25. And Raghav Karuna just 4 of 4, just new to the crease.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. You come in, you're with a set batsman, you just make sure you get them back on strike. So going to run a ball is probably exactly what the doctor ordered for Karana right now. Timsy's looked like he's struggled a little bit against the bowling of Swift as he bowls his third, works it into the leg side for a single.
Good running from the Merrion batsman, putting the fielder under pressure. But yes, Daniel Swift, he certainly started his spell very well. His first 2 overs, 1 for 6 into his 3rd over now.
Shorter delivery, well worked the leg side. There is an opportunity if he hits though.
Some more excellent running from the Merrion batsman. Raghav Karuna once again just looking to get Timsy on strike. I think the fielders in the ring, they're not really, the 4 fielders in the ring now, they're not really saving the single. So there's an opportunity for run a ball here.
More expansive shot, and the quick single taken puts the fielder under a lot of pressure. Roy Maltby not collecting cleanly there, an extra cover. He'll be disappointed he didn't have a chance at the stumps, but really if both batsmen leave at the same time, they commit to the run, it's very, very difficult to effect a run out. Shorter delivery, just blocked into the offside. That was definitely an easy single. No fielder there, cover on the boundary. So maybe Timsy and Raghav have decided that this is the danger bowler. They're happy to take a single a ball. They're not going to be too attacking against him. They'll just make sure he can't take any wickets.
It's probably the stage of the innings where they might look to tick it around to maybe the 10th or the 12th over before changing gears. But yeah, certainly Daniel Swift's probably the best bowler here we've seen from YMCA today. Just work 2 leg for Timsy for another easy single, even though it's in the ring. Daniel Swift was the pick of the YMCA bowlers in their semi-final last week, 3 for 28. And he certainly hit his straps today.
So full on the last delivery. Karana manages to clip that one with his foot. So 6 singles off the 6 balls of that over. A good one from Daniel Swift as he finishes his 3rd over. It's the 9th one that YMCA have bowled, and Merrion are 62 for 1.
I think it's evenly poised at the moment. Merrion going at just a tad under 7 and over. But Merrion know they've got the big hitter inside ready to come. Also, Marnus Bester should be in at next at 4. He's certainly been one of the key players for this Merrion team this season. Opens the bowling, bats at 4, excellent fielder.
Ask the question, is that one caught behind? William Conlon can't quite believe it.
I can't quite believe it.
Venkat Yanala is unmoved. It sounded like it hit something. It
That
was
was a very confident appeal from the YMCA players.
drags this one down. Raghav Khurana just happy to hit that one for a single, get Timsey back on strike. He survives, and you wonder, will he make YMCA pay for that decision that they didn't get?
Slug sweep coming up here from Timsey Kanduja. Oh, short outside off. Umpire Nolla calls it a wide.
Well, that's the issue with bowling from this end. I think Conlon knows that Timsey's going to target this leg side boundary, so he's afraid to bowl too straight. And there it is. There's the shot you spoke about. Manages to get it between the fielders. And an easy two, really. Well run from Raghav Khurana.
No, you're 100% right there, Isobel. William Connellan probably just a little bit afraid to bowl too straight for that slug sweep, so wants to push it out a little bit wider.
Fuller this time, a reverse sweep. Inventive from Timsey Kanduja. Did get a good hand in backward point, Rory Maltby, but unable to stop the ball fully. Half a hand, managing to save probably 2 runs. Another reverse sweep, this time hits the glove, goes over the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the option now from Timsey Kanduja. He's played that slug sweep so well, he's absolutely crunched them. And it is the shorter boundary, now he's looking for the reverse sweep.
Work to the leg side by Khurana again, but they decide against a single. A surprising one there, really, because they've taken much more dangerous ones. Nonetheless, that's the end of the 10th.
Yeah, Timsey definitely wasn't running there. Last ball of the over, fancied the strike in the next over. So halfway stage of this Merrion innings. Merrion 69 for 1. And evenly poised.
And with that, John and I will bid you adieu. We'll hand over to Andrew Leonard and Dominic Joyce.
Yeah, thanks, Izzy. Just about to introduce Dominic Joyce as our special guest. I wanted to build up the tension and the surprise, Izzy. Very disappointing. One of my great old sparring partners. Dom, how are you, mate?
Good, Lenny. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, real pleasure.
Gave it away.
He gave away the big secret, but isn't it a glorious day? And after all the hardships we've had this summer, you're looking out on a day like today, all your worries just ease away.
That's it, yeah. Last day of the season, I think. Today. Yeah, big day for the club. Obviously, second team in the final. Our fours just missed out last week, actually, on getting to the final as well. So it could have been a double today, but unfortunately they didn't get there.
Yeah, the last club games of the season has just punched him in off a direct hit. It's going to be out. Brilliant! He had one stump to aim at. He took aim. He hit the base of that stump. Outstanding fielding at extra cover. Super run out.
Yeah, great run out. We were directly in line with that. And one stump, as you said, one stump to aim at. No mistake. I actually don't think that's a bad thing from Merrion's point of view, to be perfectly honest. It was Maltby. That brings Sai ready to the crease, so he, as Isobel mentioned earlier, is a very big hitter of the ball. So I'm trying to think of what's a good score here, maybe 140, 150.
Yeah, they're right on par for north of 150 at the moment. It was Roy Maltby who picked up one-handed, took aim, the perfect technique, exactly the way Brian O'Rourke, one of the cricket Leinster coaches, would have taught you how to do it. You're coming up through the systems, left arm out, aim at the one stump. That's literally all he had. He was exactly square of the wicket. And it looked never in doubt from the moment of release.
No. And he did have time to set himself. There was never a run there, really. But I think Timsey is just very keen to get on strike at the moment.
Yeah, understandably.
Batting nicely.
Yeah, batting really, really well. So yeah, just after the halfway stage, 70 for 2 the score now. With the sunshine blazing down, it looks like there's going to be more and more opportunity to make hay while the sun shines for the batsmen. But some good, promising stuff from the bowlers as well, Dom.
Yeah, this ball really nicely swift. Very impressed.
Just worked down behind square for a single. Tell us about the season for the club here at Merrion. It's obviously been strange for everyone, but you've made the most of it.
Yeah, I suppose from first team's point of view, kind of just missed out on the semi-final. We had a bit of a terror run chase against Pembroke. Terrible run chase against Pembroke. Couldn't chase 100, I think it was, just over 100. The old Pembroke squeeze came on. You know all about that.
All the spinners.
All the spinners. The classic Merrion collapse. And then Rush just blew us away in the last game. So we didn't quite make it.
Cut shot beats the diving effort at backward point, and it's going to run away for 4. This outfield's getting quicker and quicker as the day goes on. The kind of the format that was compelled upon us by the uncertainties with COVID, it's thrown up some really nice matchups, some nice surprises as well.
Yeah, and we went with John, opening up with John Anderson, who got 50 in every game, I think, apart from one. So that was a good move. And I went to middle order, which wasn't quite a good move. Yeah, it's kind of a strange format, I suppose, as a batsman in the middle overs, because you can go through 2-3 games with hardly really getting a go. Especially if John's getting a 50 every game. So, I found myself with, I think I faced 17 balls in the first 4 games or something like that. So
difficult to find form, and perhaps as we were just talking about it off air, how there hasn't been an absolute. We're so used to T20 being batsman dominated. There hasn't been a number of high scorers by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and I think bowlers will come back into it. I think not just in local cricket. I think in the bigger tournaments as well. I think they're getting a lot cleverer, a lot more variations. Another
absolute beauty. That's the 3rd wicket, and for the 2nd time in this innings, the stumps have been knocked over, and it's Swift that does the damage for the 2nd time. Beautiful bowling. It's the spell. It's the final ball of his spell, and it's no more than he deserves.
Yeah, beautiful off stump. Not quite cartwheeling as it did earlier, but still out of the ground. Best side for a fast bowler.
We've got the lovely scenes of, even though it's behind closed doors, you've got the lovely scenes of the families being able to watch on, and very proud father in the background, no doubt. Look at this sight. We're just watching on our screen again here, Dom. That is an absolute beauty. It's a nip back inner, and it's knocked off stump out.
Not really sure what Timsy could have done with that. Still a good knock though, 42 off 34.
Shows the depth of both these clubs. You've got to remember we're watching the 3rd 11s here of both sides. Merrion 2nd, so impressive in winning the Tulane Cup yesterday. YMCA 1st, so impressive, outstanding in simply dominating performance over Railway Union in the LHW Financial Planning Senior League Cup final. But these are 3rd 11s. There's some really good cricket on show.
Yeah, that's right, and that brings Manus Bester into the crease. Also a really good stroke player.
Yeah, an outstanding first name as well. Love that, Hermanus. I'm going to guess South African origin, perhaps.
Yes, that's right. I actually didn't know his full name was Hermanus.
What's he known as around the
just
club?
Manus, or Marnus if you pronounce it with a South African accent. So I thought it was a rogue or in there.
That's nicely worked behind square on the leg side, and there's nobody behind square on the leg side for these off breaks, and it's going to be 4 runs, the shorter side of the ground. Just a few strategic things YMCA not quite getting right. Again, surprised to see the off spinner ball from this end.
It's baffling, really, to be honest. All the seamers working from the Stevenson's end. I think that's 2 balls for Cy Reddy and 2 4s, and he's normally known for, let's say, agricultural stroke play. 2 really nice, delicate shots, actually, first 2 balls.
Yeah, 2 lovely bits of touch cricket from Merrion Third's captain, Cy Reddy. And it's brought about a change in the field. The man does come into short fine leg, as you'd usually see in place for an off spinner. Not just perhaps bowling from the wrong end, but not getting his field right either. Is William Connellan. Fuller this time, hit into the sky. That's going to soar over the clubhouse. I've just moved my car, Dom. I'm praying that hasn't hit a car, is it?
I think it may be in a garden.
Thank God it's gone down the gardens. I've literally moved it out of Cow Corner up to pretty much, and as we see from one of the Cricket Leinster volunteers helping us out here, young David Cosgrave, he's got only one word for us. That is huge.
Yeah. Well, it was tossed up. It was a freebie, really. Could put that wherever he wanted. And he decided, I'll go over the clubhouse.
Honest to God, I thought that was right in line with the long car park, but it was a full toss, a freebie for a batsman. Cy Reddy's quality. That is absolutely massive. Probably 6 on any ground, but it's soared over the 2-tier pavilion here.
I think he can go. I actually don't think he caught that fully. I think he can go bigger.
Well,
I hope he can hear me.
Huge pressure on William Connellan. First ball, a touch for 4 down the leg side. The second one floated up bravely and smashed miles over our heads. And we've got a lost ball, and the 2 umpires, unsurprisingly, calling new balls, please, Dom.
I wonder with Swift finishing a spell, will they try a spinner from the Stevenson's end next over? He's still got to get through 4 more balls here against Sai. He will not die wondering, that's for sure.
And just like that, that's how quickly T20 cricket can change. You were talking about maybe 140 just as you came onto air. That would be the very minimum of Merrion's ambitions right now.
Yeah, I think if Sai stays in till 15, 16 overs, he could be gone. You could be looking at 170 maybe.
We're in the hitting arc as well. We're exactly square of the wicket. As you watch it right now, we are a deep square leg, just over the boundary underneath these beautiful arches of Merrion's clubhouse. We'll be needing to watch keenly here, Dom. Short ball. Doesn't find any timing, and you can see Connellan just wanting to hide it away from the leg stump.
Yeah, that was really brave actually. Tossed it up. Keeping it out on the offside is probably the right idea.
Looks for another agricultural one across the line. Doesn't find his timing again. I think Reddy's got to just remember there's still 8 or 9 overs to bat. He doesn't need to go every ball.
No, and he is on. I'm not quite sure that's right. Yeah.
Worked into the offside this time. Again, looks for that favoured hit to the leg side and adjusts nicely. Just going to be a single. So yeah, very brave from Connellan. He was under huge pressure. 6-4 the first 2 balls.
Come back really well actually. Toss it up outside off. First ball for Hermanus Bester now. He'll probably just look to get ones, get Sai ready, back on strike.
Tossed up and driven down the ground for a single. Nice use of the feet to end what could have been a much more costly over from Connellan. It ends up with 12 runs coming from it. Let's talk a little bit about the Merrion connection with South Africa. Why is there such a great connection? You talk about John Anderson, who obviously emigrated over, the likes of Tinnis Furry back in the day. We even saw James Hitchcock for the seconds yesterday. South Africans throughout the club. Yeah,
there's no official link. It just seems to be that they kind of moved to this area. Yeah, as you say, there's a few existing long-standing members, South Africans, so I suppose they would get on better with their compatriots, so they kind of stick together.
Very social club down here in Merrion as well. Pre-COVID times, of course, the bar would have been an active social hub of the community.
Yeah, and look, obviously, public health dictates that we can't, I suppose, be that social anymore. Certainly not indoors, anyway. Just looking at the bowling change here.
Yeah, we're going to see Devonish Singh come into the attack. Be interesting to see if the cap comes off. He looks to think about giving it to the umpire, and then he's going to tuck it in underneath his pants. I saw Owen Morgan the other day in the ODI, not having just 2 caps on his head at extra cover. He ended up having 3 at one point. Things we thought we'd never talk about in cricket.
Yeah. And Manus came down the wicket first ball, last over. Very correct batsman.
I think for the first time we're seeing an off-spinner ball from the correct end as well. Good protection in the deep on the leg side. The field is 3 men set out. Deep square leg, cow corner, long on, and then we've got long off. And deep extra cover on the offside. So a 5-4 field. Dev Singh deciding he's not happy with the cap in behind his pants. Difficult to bowl with that. He tosses it to his colleague. He's actually going to end up throwing it off the pitch.
Yes. Not much air in that first delivery. Very much darted in.
Yeah, another bespectacled bowler. This time the off breaks of Devonish Singh. I suppose at this stage of the game it's really about just stemming that run rate for YMCA.
Yeah, I think they'll try and maybe tie up Hermanus. It will be their game plan if I was them.
There's not much air being given here. Everything's being darted through, just trying to protect the boundary options.
Protect the boundary options, but I still don't think. Well, that boundary's not long enough, I don't think, for Cy Reddy. I'll see it as a challenge, I think, to hit the apartments.
Flat, really good stuff. This good start from Devonish Singh. A little bit surprising, perhaps, to see him only used as a sixth bowler. Played a little bit of seconds cricket as well over the years. Very fine operator. Works that one behind square on the offside, and a good throw comes in with the direct hit. The stumps come flying out, but the batsman is safely home. Been impressed with the standard all round here for what's third 11 so far.
Yeah, really good fielding. Also with the Hills match earlier on, as you mentioned, Andy Kavanagh was superb in the field. Probably won them the game, really. I think if you look back on the game, how close it was in the end.
I'm glad you're agreeing with our player of the match decision, Dom.
Absolutely. He was excellent last week as well, with the bat and the ball on the field.
Is it something you'd like to see more or less of the T20 cricket within Leinster? We're probably going to see a bit of a juggling act next year, working out what we can and can't do.
Yeah, I like the balance currently. Certainly for Premier League level, I like the balance. I like more 50 over personally. Like I said, middle order batsman is not going to get into the game too much, so I just feel 50 overs gives everyone a kind of more of a fair chance to play their part.
Yeah, that's the end of the 13th over. Merrion move now to 90 for 3. Batting first here, they're going to still be thinking north of 150.
Great last over there.
Yeah, really well bowled. Just 2 runs coming from it, you're spot on. And again, we surprised perhaps to see Conlon continue. Sanath Reddy's going to be licking his lips trying to get on strike here, isn't he?
This is boundary or wicket.
No, he's on strike, apologies, sorry. Hermanus Bester, of course, a dot off the final ball. So action is incoming. Eyes peeled on the stream. Tossed up and well adjusted by Cy Reddy. Just going to be a single. Really brave bowling, not afraid to give it that little bit of flight.
Yeah, it's strange that 6 actually is probably brought out the best of him. Ever since that ball, he's just tossed it up nicely outside off. I think Cy Reddy is looking to hit every ball for 6, and then he just adjusts.
Beautifully bowled, big appeal and given. We are square to that dismissal as well, and that was absolutely out. Steve Wood has got that one completely right, and the bravery of William Conlon is rewarded with a wicket. Hermanus Bester looked to use his feet as he did throughout his innings. He comes dancing down, skids on with the arm. Good piece of work from the keeper.
Yeah, a bit of extra bounce. Nice tall bowler, nice tall action. I think the bounce really did him more than anything there. Kind of didn't really commit to the shot. Hermanus Bester there.
Yeah, not for the first time today. We've seen it, or yesterday indeed, we've seen a batsman beaten on the outside of their bat by an off spinner. Just the ball perhaps not turning as much as anticipated. That little bit of extra bounce you referred to, and really good work with the gloves by Nitin Thambi. And that's the 4th wicket to fall.
Sean Hussey's the new batsman for Merrion.
Go on then, Dom. Come on, tell all the viewers at home. Tell us about Sean.
Sean is an excellent batsman. Bowls quite similar off spin actually to the previous bowler. Quite likes to dart it in, bowl around the wicket. In terms of his batting, I haven't actually seen him bat much this year. He's grown about 2 feet in the last year also, so he's almost unrecognisable.
He's going to get off the mark first ball with a single. Another direct hit from the fielder. The fielding's been outstanding.
Cy Reddy not looking for any overthrows. Happy to be on strike, I think.
Yeah, I think his pad just twisted around as he ran through for the single. But yeah, tell us a little bit about Sean Hussey as well off the pitch. He's a huge cricket fan.
Just a sports fan. Sports mad. Gaelic, golf, cricket, soccer, pretty much everything. I think he has his own podcast, doesn't he? With his brother. Haven't actually listened to it yet, but I'm sure it's very good. He really knows his stuff. Like he's a badger.
Well, we called it yesterday in the Tulane Cup final. Is Conor Austin the badger of the club, or is it Sean Hussey the badger? There's a bit of a badger off between them.
Co-badgers? Yeah.
Co-badgers, fair enough. Every club has one.
I think Conor Austin has
Merrion
taken
has
the mantle. Yeah. Conor Austin has taken the mantle, I think, certainly in local cricket circles. He actually has a Leinster cricket badger group, as far as I know. on
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
I've heard about that one. I had to approve it as the sort of king badger, overseeing them all. No, there's all sorts. You think
The
about
junior badgers.
yeah, the junior badgers. Owen
Do you have
Connolly
meetings?
there
or-
in Railway Union. Oh, look, you wouldn't believe what we get up to behind closed doors. But no, it's great to see such love for the game on a serious note. And we're just having a precise break in play, because I think that throw that came through that hit the stumps might have just... Either he's done the injury looking for the quick single, saying that's ready, or else maybe a collision. It looks to me more like a sort of hamstring. He's probably sprinting through for the single, wasn't he?
This happens every second game, I think, with Sai. YM are in trouble here. No running. He'll swing even harder if that's possible on every ball from now on, I think.
We're going to see something you don't see too often at the top levels of the game anymore. We're going to see a runner. So keep your eyes peeled on every inch of the screen, because when a runner is in, something always happens.
I think the umpires are having a word. I'm not sure if he's actually allowed to come on. No, they're sending him off.
Oh, there we go. They are sending him off. We have the anticipation of a runner.
Could be just the helmet, maybe.
Oh, the helmet's being thrown off, and he's going to be asked to wear a cap instead.
And
I've missed runners since they've gone out of the top level of the game. There's something very special about it, unique to cricket.
I've had to do that for Jason Mullins a couple of times at the Ireland team. And I actually, unfortunately, got Jason stumped, effectively run out when I was running for him in a game up in Warringstown, I think it was. I think he was on 98 at the time, so wasn't too happy with me.
And you would have been the man nominated to run, because you would have been already out.
Yeah, and I'm twice as fast as Jason, of course, as everyone knows.
Jason,
Jason is twice as good a batsman as me.
pass on our best wishes to the great man Jason Mullins across in London. Of course, his brother Greg and himself both playing cricket for Ireland, much like the Dom and his brother Ed. And must ask you, while we have you, we spoke a little bit about this yesterday on the stream. The family connection to Irish cricket, it really is everything. It's what makes our game so special.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see another a kind of a dynasty, I suppose, develop now with the Tectors. I think by all accounts, Tim Tector is going to be in Irish colours, I think, in no time. And Harry obviously breaking through. But yeah, look, cricket's been in our family since day one, really. Can't remember any time without it. Kind of a strange story, really. Like, we don't really have a cricketing background. I think my dad just liked watching matches in Phoenix Park and went along and kind of took the game up when he was about 40. Wasn't the greatest player himself.
Well, I think if you're comparing your dynasty to the Tector dynasty, I think it'd be the same for Heatley as well. Wasn't the greatest player. But it doesn't matter. Look at the next generation.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Got to pass it on. Did Heatley played, I presume?
He did. I think he was. I think YMCA thirds might have been the height of his ambitions during his playing career. But he reckons he was a very good bowler down the divisions. That's what he reckons. So we have the runner in place. He is out at square leg on what is an unmarked piece of the wicket. So Steve Wood is going to have his work cut out at square leg. Something's going to happen here, I can assure you. And just like you said, he doesn't want to run, so he pongos it into the car park for a maximum 6. I'm not altogether too sure why the runner's running, because that one was 6 the moment it hit the bat.
Yeah, just like I said, he will not die wondering here. Dangerous.
This is a regular occurrence. He
This is a
injures
regular
himself whilst
occurrence.
batting and then just tries to smash every ball for 6.
Yeah. Well, he tries to smash every ball for 6 from ball 1, injured or not. And this just makes him slightly more dangerous as a batsman. Manus Bester is the runner. He's a great athlete.
Yeah, and he's got the floppy hat on instead of the baseball cap. Umpire's deciding to allow that. Good bowling, really good from William Conlon. You can see that hitting arc of Reddy. Everything is coming to the leg side with this short boundary here as well. Really brave, getting it outside the off stump. Goes through to the keeper for a dot. Big swing and a miss and a big appeal. And neither Reddy nor the runner were outside their grounds. It only takes one of them, as Dom Joyce has just described to us.
Correct.
Good decision again from Steve Wood, not out. So that's going to finish William Conlon's spell. He finishes with 1 for 37 from his 4 overs. A good classical off spinner. And again, you'd have to think if perhaps he was given the other end of the ground, those figures would look a bit better. Well bowled, young man. Reddy, he may struggle to field, Dom, looking at how he's hobbling around there.
And as captain, obviously, that's a big blow, I think. Not sure who's going to step up in his absence.
Yeah, both sides, with it being a cup final, both have named 12 today, so there's an official 12th man who can come in and field. The injury was obviously done in the game. And like we said earlier on the earlier streams, every cup final so far played in such brilliant spirit, there'll be no problem with YMCA allowing Merrion a runner, I'm sure. They would have allowed them a runner, allowing them a sub-fielder later on.
Yeah, so Xander De Beer, I think, will take the field. And for Merrion, good fielder as well, so...
Beautifully bowled, just skidding on, maybe keeping a little bit low as well. He's darting them in. Got to think Hussey's got to get forward to him. Back foot isn't the way to go.
No. I just think Merrion are going to have to revise their targets here.
Darted in again the back foot just scooped down the ground for a single. Hermanus Bester wants to. I think Cy Reddy's the man who shouts no from square leg. He wants the strike. All happening with the runners out there.
Yes, mayhem is inevitable, I think, with the runner. So I think Cy Reddy will look to go straight here, I think. And probably long on.
Long on quite wide as well. On the back foot, on the mix-up between the runners. Hussey said yes, Hermanus Bester said no, but the misfield allows them to get through for one. And that's going to bring the 100 up in the 15th over.
So like you said, Lenny, Sean Hussey looking to go on the back foot here. Not sure it's the way to go personally, but...
Just with the way they're really being darted in there, the old-fashioned darts, there's no spin, skidding on. He's doing a very effective job for his team, Dev Singh. In fact, we see this more and more often. You see a spinner come in and bowl overs 13, 15, 17, 19 consecutively. Difficult job to do. You think of Rashid Khan, he does that for Afghanistan so well. Again on the back foot, but he gets enough of it for a single. And in fairness to Hussey, if he can just get his skipper onto strike, that's all exactly his role is.
Yeah. And there is plenty of room in that cover region. Man at backward point, man at short third man, so... And then the man at cover is pretty straight, so there's a very big gap.
Darted in again, just skidding on outside the off stump. Doesn't look as comfortable looking to hit anywhere on the offside, really.
No, I think there's not really too much value you can get, I think, for that shot anyway. Even if he does connect, because they've got the sweeper out in the offside, the two men behind square in the offside as well, so I think down the ground is the way to go, but easier said than done, I think.
Yeah, but really good bowling, taking away.
And I wonder, was that the plan at the start of the innings, for him to bowl these overs? It's paying off if it was.
Hit towards the offside, could be a chance, and dropped. It wasn't an easy chance, and I just wonder, is that the 12th man for YMCA? I think that's Yash Balasu Merrion, who's put it down.
Yeah, that was a tough chance. Dived away to his left. I think you can look at that as run saved, really. But it was Cy Reddy, and if he gives you a chance, you need to take it.
How often does that happen? You come on as 12th man. I'm not altogether sure who he's on for actually right now, but the youngster who is just 15 years of age, the big day, he was so excited to be part of the cup final. He was telling me beforehand. We talk about cricket badgers. I think there's the nomination for the YMCA one. 15 years of age, already umpiring, very high standard of men's cricket and women's cricket, all the way up as far as Division 3 this season. And good little bowler.
Yeah, good little bowler. I saw him bowl in an underage game down here. Bowled really well.
I think after all the horror of the year that we've had, one of the first big smiles I had on my face this year, I turned up to play a second 11 game, and Yash was umpiring at the age of 15 with his dad. And his dad was just so proud of him. That's Bala Kalash.
That's a brilliant story.
And
yeah, I think youngsters given the chance this year. Just the absence of overseas players. Some teams, some clubs are kind of looking at it as a kind of development year, which I think is a good way to go. Get the young guys in, give them exposure.
Yeah, and we saw the superb scenes of the Forkins yesterday, starring for your second 11 here in Merrion. Hit powerfully into the leg side, but YMCA certainly learning their lessons in terms of protection in the field. So at the with just 5 overs to go. Well, thank Dom Joyce for the moment. Chat to you a little bit later in the second innings. Dom and one Ireland international replaced by another. Time to hear now the thoughts of Merrion, Leinster and Ireland's John Anderson. John.
Hello, Lenny.
You love a runner in there, John, don't you?
I prefer to do it myself. Thanks.
Just worked into the offside, going to be a single. Again, the 12th man, the youngster, Yash, doing the fielding, doing really well. So Reddy is looking like dynamite when he makes connection.
Yeah, extremely powerful batsman, Sai Reddy. He's shown already he's cleared the clubhouse here, and he'll be looking to do it again with only 5 overs to go.
Darted in again, smashed down the ground. Long on is very square indeed, and it beats him straight. Goes past the goldfish. Talking business sponsor signboard, and that's going to be 4 more to the total. Really good batting from Sai Reddy. He's leading from the front for Merrion threes.
That's a really powerful shot. Over-pitched and a little bit quicker from Sunny Singh. And Sai Reddy absolutely bludgeons that. Couple bounces and into the fence for 4.
Tossed up temptingly, and how quick is the outfield? It really is, but 3 men in the deep on the leg side. They'll tidy up. That's Roy Maltby who effected the brilliant direct hit run out. I've been so impressed with the standard of cricket for third 11 cricket here. Merrion looking well north of 150 at the moment.
Yeah, certainly 160 I reckon they'll be targeting here.
And the man known as the Huss here locally, Sean Hussey, just doing his role nicely, getting the singles, getting the skipper back onto strike.
Yeah, that's Sean Hussey's role here for the next couple of overs. Just get himself 10 off 10, get himself going, and give the strike to skipper Sai Reddy. He's going really well at the moment, 32 off 20.
Hit into the offside this time by Reddy. Reddy just stands there. I think his runners forgot he's supposed to run for him. Hermanus Bester's got all sorts of confused there. Luckily it runs away for a boundary 4. But Sai Reddy turned to him at square leg and said, "You're my runner. You're not out here to watch. What are you doing?"
I'm not sure what was going on there, but he didn't need to be doing that. That's 4 all the way. Outfield is absolutely lightning, as always, and especially today. Extremely warm day, and throughout the course of the day the outfield's just got quicker and quicker.
I think we might have to have an interview with Hermanus Bester after asking him about his role as runner here, because it is utter chaos at the moment. And we've got 4 overs to go now. 114 for 4. That's the scene, the beautiful picture you're looking at Anglesey Road here in Dublin 4, just south of Dublin City. And on days like this, where else would you rather be in the world?
Yeah, no, lucky I'm commentating today, so I'm able to be here. It was a beautiful day. It's an unbelievable place to play cricket. Excellent wickets, lightning fast outfield, and yeah, certainly one of the best places I've played cricket in Ireland. Lenny, you've played in a few grounds yourself. Which other grounds would be in your top 3 behind Merrion?
Yeah, it's just powered into the leg side. Just could be 2 with the miss hit. They're the way I usually get my 2s. Complete miss hit. The throw comes in. It's going to strike the runner, Hermanus Bester, who looked to be paddling water. Looked like he was going to be struggling. And Sean Hussey doesn't hit the runner, but he does. He kept his line. No appeal from YMCA, and they do get back for 2.
No, he didn't move his line at all there. And yeah, certainly Hermanus Bester, very much quicker than Sean Hussey. So going back to those grounds, Lenny, which other grounds would be in your top 3?
Just going to push for 2 again here. I'll come back to that in a second. John Hussey just feeling the heat a bit, panting. He's happy with 1. Look, we're blessed in Ireland with some absolutely beautiful cricket grounds. Obviously Oak Hill comes immediately to mind. It's real beauty. We had the finals yesterday for my home club Pembroke. Played a season up in Phoenix. I absolutely adore the Phoenix Park. Massive soft spot for the hills, but for me it's one outside of Dublin. It's Mount Juliet. Be lucky enough to go down there next week with the Leprechauns and play our end of season tour. A great group of guys. Hit powerfully, and that's going to soar all the way for 6. Didn't matter whether or not Long On was there because he's so wide. It's the second one that thuds into the goldfish boards in 2 overs. Great power from Reddy. 6 more to the total.
Yeah, once again, there was a bit full. Reddy really powerful. Long On a bit wide down there, but he wouldn't have mattered. Sails over the rope. Another 6.
Really good work from Dev Singh. The misfield is going to allow Hermanus Bester, the runner for Reddy. If you're looking at your screen and wondering why is Reddy standing there and not running, he has injured himself whilst batting. There's a runner at square legs. That runner runs through. And they get through for another single. But yeah, we're really lucky here in Ireland with some of the most beautiful grounds you could imagine. To even mention one of the some of the grounds up the north of Ireland have played a good bit of cricket at. You think of North Down. It's powered into the deep, straight to the man, and taken. That's going to be the end of Sean Hussey. That's why Long On is that little bit wider. And Sean Hussey's tactic of staying back to the spinners hasn't paid off. Gives up a simple catch. That's the 5th wicket.
Yeah, Sean Hussey, 8 of 8 there. Might have been looking to give continue to give Reddy the strike, but he took on the wide Long On and didn't get enough of it. And a simple catch out on the boundary. That brings Nitin Sharma to the crease to join his captain, Reddy. Excellent bowling here from Devonish Singh. That's his 1st wicket.
Dropped again for the 2nd time today. Reddy's been put down. And in a similar position as well. This time it's not the 12th man, Yash. I think it's Naful Amanullah who's put him down, and you just can't afford to drop a batsman of the power of Reddy. On our screen we have him as 40 from 23 deliveries. He's actually 44 at the moment on the home scoreboard here, so just 1 blow short of a 50. What a knock it's been.
Now, it's been an excellent knock so far from the skipper, leading by example. He's had an excellent season so far, averaging 111 in this division before today. He's been going really well, and certainly in the big game in the final, he's showing exactly what he's made of. With only 3 overs to go now.
Yeah, critical final 3 overs, and I think good captaincy from Sonny Singh. Rather than continuing with the spinners from this end with the shorter boundary for the right-handers, he's going to go back to his key pace bowler, Naful Amanullah, who bowled so impressively. Only the 2 overs up top, so he saved these 2 for the death. Isobel Joyce called that earlier. Said they'll probably hold him back for the final 2.
First time we're seeing seam from the Hazeldean end today. It's been all spin from that end. The near end as you looking at it. Naful Amanullah, his first 2 overs, none for 7. So an excellent 2 overs up front, and now he's got probably the last 2 overs from the Hazeldean end. So a big 2 overs for him.
Yeah, just a little change in the field. The deep square leg saying that we need another man in. He said he'd come up, but they've decided that he'll go back, and the man at point will come up into the ring. So no one in the deep on the offside, with the exception of Long Off. Powered into the leg side. Super strike again. Reddy, so impressive. The ball ricochets off the stumps. The runner wants 2. Reddy's going to keep the strike. Good alertness this time from Hermanus Bester. He's working out this running lark, isn't he?
Yeah. No, excellent athlete, Hermanus Bester, but not what YMCA wanted there. Just a little ricochet off the stumps, and that allows Reddy back on strike instead of the new man, Nitin Sharma. So an extra run to the total, but more importantly, Reddy back on strike.
We have him on 42 in our graphics on the screen, but the domestic scorers, the home scorers here, have him on 46. So he could be just 1 blow away from a famous 50 in a cup final. Whipped off his legs. It's an extraordinary field, John, isn't it? You've got deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, cow corner, and long on.
Yeah, I mean, it is the shorter side, but I'd prefer maybe a predominantly more offside field with that deep extra cover, and maybe look to bowl your wide Yorkers and keep it away from the arc and being able to be hit over the clubhouse.
Yeah, and he's done the right thing though. Amanullah, he's got the dangerous Merrion captain off strike. Beautifully bowled outside the off stump through to the keeper, generating really good pace. Amanullah opening 2 overs and the 2 death overs. It's the most difficult job in the team.
Yeah, 2 overs up front in the power play, and now the 2 overs at the death. When you got the Merrion captain in full flow. Nitin Sharma probably just looking to get a single, get himself off the mark, maybe push into the covers and get ready back on strike. That's maybe his role for his first 3 or 4 balls.
Work down towards third man. That's Yas down there. And they're going to take on the youngster's arm, and he will get home for 2 with the rather acrobatic dive. Really good commitment from Nitin Sharma.
Yeah, Nitin Sharma wears his heart on his sleeve. He's definitely going to dive at all costs there. He's a true Merrion man through and through. He's not going to give his wicket away easily unless it's a big slog, but certainly he'll be diving in.
Beautifully bowled, a big swing and a miss, baseball style, going deep in his crease, standing outside his leg stump, trying to hike that one over the clubhouse. But that wasn't the reality. Big swing and a miss, nothing more.
A good over here from Amadura. Just the far from it so far. A big last delivery. He's making some changes to his field. Square leg comes in. He pushes fine leg back.
You're going to have to talk me through that one, John. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure, but good from the youngster, marshalling his field.
No ball. We're going to see a no ball signalled immediately by both standing umpire Venkat Yanala and Steve Wood at square leg. Complete accident, looking for the Yorker, getting it wrong. We're going to have an old school free hit, a free dinger. Here we go, John.
I'm looking forward to this. Nitin Sharma on strike. He's going to be swinging. He's going to be throwing the kitchen sink at this.
Got to step outside your stumps here.
Yeah,
play the Viv Richards into the leg side, don't you?
Go outside off and swing hard. Well bowled.
Really well bowled. That's the Yorker he was looking for the last time. Nitin Sharma wants to. The throw comes in. Surely he's going to be run out. He's not.
Oh, that's
Hermanus Bester has so nearly sold his skipper up the river, but he somehow got back for 2. Nitin Sharma, who would have been blamed there?
Last ball of the over, Manus Best is definitely coming back for 2 to get ready on strike. But other than that, no ball free hit. That was an excellent over from Amadullah, and for the free hits right up in the block hole, and a good over for YMCA there.
It's so funny. You look at T20 cricket as opposed to the other formats. Naful Amanullah's bowled 3 overs, none for 15, but he's been absolutely outstanding.
No, he has been. He's been the pick of the YMCA bowlers together with Dev Singh. Unfortunately, Amadullah wicketless today, but 3 overs, none for 15. That's a great return on an excellent batting wicket here.
Dev Singh's got to be careful here. If he becomes too predictable and darts everyone in, Reddy's going to punish him.
He'll be looking straight here.
What a shot that is. We're in action here, John. It's coming straight to us. Nearly hit the commentary position into the Merrion clubhouse wall. Don't want to break the COVID regs. That's 4 more, and that's going to be 50.
Excellent innings from Sai Reddy, acknowledging the applause from his teammates. And that was just a little bit over pitched, and he squeezed it out, and it raced away for 4 to the extra cover boundary.
Yeah, he's shown just belligerent power throughout his innings. Sai Reddy, that one smashed down the ground just for a single this time. But this is the problem. I think if any bowler, whether a spinner or a seamer, if they get too predictable in T20, batsmen these days just line you up. Every ball darted in by Dev Singh at the moment.
Yes, every ball's been darted and hasn't really changed it up. Nitin Sharma here now on strike. Mid on, still long on, still very wide, so he'll be looking to go straight.
Darted in again. He did look to go straight, but he's dragged it out towards the leg side, towards Cow Corner. He takes a brilliant catch. That is superb from Roy Bumpy. He's already taken a superb run out with a direct hit of just one stump. He got both hands high above his head and effects a beautiful catch.
Yeah, Nitin Sharma has to go now for 4 or 5. The new batsman coming to the wicket, Harry Ramasetti.
Yeah, but critically for Merrion, the batsman, I'm pretty sure, thanks to the running of Hermanus Bester, crossed. So that means that Sai Reddy will be back on strike. So even though you don't want wickets at this stage, you've got to get your key men to face as many balls as possible.
Yeah, no, it's the stage of the match where Nitin Sharma, he's going to be going for it. And yeah, as you say, Reddy back on strike.
Smash, that is huge, the biggest hit of the day. You said he was going to hit one into the apartments. I think that was Isobel Joyce who called that, or maybe the brother Dom, one of the Joyces. God knows there's too many of them here. That's the biggest hit of the entire final so far, 6 runs.
What a shot, already. That was in the arc and out the park. Right up the meat of the bat. And sails over the fence for 4.
What's all the more
6.
impressive about this striking from Sai Reddy, as John Anderson's corrected by his wife next to him, 6 runs. Should have been 8 or 10, I reckon, John.
Yeah, that was definitely 6.
But what's all the more impressive, he's doing it on one leg. He's got a runner at the crease.
And I was just a bit excited, got it wrong. Apologies.
He looks to go to the offside this time, trying to hide it away. Dev Singh, good fielding in the deep. Just going to be a single. So the result surely here for the new man at the crease, Harry Ramasetti, has to be dot 2, 4 or 6. You do not want a single.
Correct, Lenny. There's definitely a 2 on offer. With no one saving the single in front of square on the leg side. A little flick to the leg side. Marnus Bester will be back for 2. That's probably the right option here.
Smash down the ground. He looks to make it the 6, and it's going to carry straight to the man. And unfortunately, in a little bit of brainless cricket, the batsmen have crossed. So that is the worst possible result. Not the dot, the 2, the 4, or the 6, but the wicket. The batsmen have crossed, and Sai Reddy's not going to be on strike.
Definitely the worst possible result, that. Harry Ramasetti doing the right thing. Last ball of the over, going for the boundary. Unfortunately, just not having the legs to clear the long on, and a comfortable catch out in the deep.
Yeah, and look, good reward as well for Dev Singh. He's bowled really bravely. He's going to end up with 3 for 29, which again, at this stage of the innings, the final 4 overs he bowled from the far end, has ended up with 2 for 29. So good reward, or 3 for 29. Good reward for him. And we're going to have the new man to the crease. That's Akshay Dubey, the wicket-keeper batsman. And he's going to be on strike. So now, John, his job is 1, 3, or a rather impossible 5.
Yeah, bat on ball and run. That's his job here.
It doesn't even really matter if he's run out with just 6 deliveries remaining. He's just got to get his skipper onto strike.
So
Again, if you're watching on, sorry John, if you're watching on and a bit confused as to why Sai Reddy is walking over towards square leg, he is injured. He's done the injury during this innings, and we've got a runner in at the non-strikers, and that's Hermanus Bester, who's doing all his running for him. He's got the best of both worlds at the moment, just batting and enjoying nothing else.
yeah, just during the over there, you could see him going up to Akshay Dubey, and had a good long conversation with him, and pretty clear instructions, I would say. Bat on ball and get through for the single.
Yeah, the shout from the captain at long on, Sonny Singh, was keep it under 150. Really good batting, and wise enough to only run the single. Very good from Akshay Dubey. It's a team game. That's what makes cricket so brilliant. A team game played with plenty of individual aspects. He gets the single, gets the skipper onto strike. Why are they bowling the final over the innings from this end, John?
Yeah, interesting, but if it is from the other end, the straight boundary is shorter towards the Stevenson's end, so 6 of 1.
He's going to go all the way to the leg side, but he can't quite find the timing. One bounce, just a single. He's surprised they ran the single.
No, lost over. Take what you can get. He's very frustrated there, so already hitting his pad with his bat.
I think I've watched you bat in this situation before, John. You'd have turned the single down there.
No, I would have backed my partner there, Lenny.
Yeah, good batting. Gets the single that he wants. Get the captain back onto strike. Outstanding stuff though from Nafal Amanullah. Hiding the ball outside the off stump, hitting his Yorker well.
Yeah, brilliant bowling here. Only gone for 17 into his 4th over. 2 singles of this over, but a big 4 balls coming up. We saw in the previous game here, 21 was off the last over, and that proved the difference in the match. So there's a big 4 overs here.
Yeah, you're spot on, that did turn the Goldfish Telecom YMCA Salver final. So ready, just trying to overhit a touch, but he's going to surely try and come back for 2, or his runner will. Hermanus Bester, great running from Akshay Dubey, gets him back for 2. He's still got 2 more balls to work with.
Yeah, for a moment there, they weren't running too hard, and eventually decided to come back for 2. But Akshay Dubey, he needs to be running like you here, Lenny. He needs to be a few yards down the wicket, only after release, of course. But he needs to come back for 2 for everything.
Powered into the offside. I'm not sure that's where he intended to hit it. Trying to skews off almost the V of the bat, but such is the power that Sai Reddy possesses. There's no one in the deep in the offside. 4 more to the total for Merrion.
Yeah, not quite nailing the Yorker there, Ahmedullah. And Sai Reddy swinging hard. It doesn't matter where it's going. He's swinging hard. And as you say, skews off the bat, but the power that he possesses, it races away for 4.
Yeah, that is not where he intended to hit that by any stretch of the imagination, but he'll take them wherever they come. Moves into the 60s, 66 he has now. And he can't quite find the maximum, but he is going to finish with a boundary all the way along the ground. A sensational innings. 70 coming from 34 deliveries. That is the innings, not just of this final, but of probably the entire finals weekend so far. And it's advantage Merrion at the halfway stage.
What an innings there from Sai Reddy. Great finish, great last over. Two fours to finish. Skewed away off the middle of the bat, out to the deep extra cover, and last ball in the slot and powered down the ground, giving long on no chance of a boundary. Excellent innings, excellent finish to the innings there from Sai Reddy, and that's the momentum that you need to take into the second innings. They're going off, their players give them the skipper an excellent ovation as he walks off, and they'll definitely be buoyed by that first innings.
Yeah, you can see him even waving the bat. He knows that he's on the live stream. He's giving it the big one all the way around the world. He knew where the camera was. That's brilliant from Sai Reddy. So that gets us to the halfway stage of this LHK Insurance Middle Cup final. And just while I have you, before we let you go for the break, Cricket Leinster would like to thank everyone right the way across Leinster Club Cricket for their support throughout what has been the most difficult of seasons, the most testing of years for everyone involved, and also pay a huge tribute of support and thanks to all the Cricket Leinster sponsors who've stuck by them through thick and thin, the likes of LHW Financial Planning, Sprint Coatings, who've extended their deal for all the women's cricket, IBI Corporate Finance, Goldfish Telecom, and of course the sponsors today, LHK Insurance. And we'll bring you some updates as well from the other cup finals going on across in Park Avenue. Well, thanks as well to Ed Sports and Sports Hub. So that for the moment is the scene at the halfway stage. One thing is for certain, we're going to be in for an interesting second half. We'll see you in about 15 minutes time, as YMCA are going to need 159 to win. Welcome and good afternoon back to Anglesey Road. I'm Andrew Leonard and bringing you these pictures for Cricket Leinster of the LHK Insurance Middle Cup final. I've got a Merrion club legend, the former Leinster Lightning, Merrion and Irish international Dom Joyce, who's going to join me for the first 5 overs or so. Dom, really entertaining first half of the game.
Yeah, really entertaining. 159 the target here for YM. Definitely gettable. Backbone of the innings there was obviously Cy ready. 70 off 42 balls, I think it was in the end. Brilliant knock. Just power. Of course, he's not taking the field now.
And just bringing you a little bit of hot news from our, not just sideline reporter, our on-field reporter, Sean Hussey, who said, if I'm going to field, I want to field right next to the commentary box. I'm at deep square leg, I'm nowhere else. But he's given us the hot take. Nitin Sharma has taken the virtual captain's armband. Cy Reddy will not take the field. And we're going to have a wicket first ball. Unbelievable scenes, great celebration. Middle stump is pegged back. We're not even going to get a chance to have a look at Roy Maltby, who had a brilliant day in the field, but not his day with the bat. He's gone for a golden duck.
Big in-swinger there, Vishal Singh. I'll have to look at the replay, but I'm assuming that'll swing back a long way like he usually does. And it was a big shot first ball. Not exactly playing himself in. Best start possible for Merrion.
Yeah, not what YMCA would have wanted. Poor old Roy Maltby's stay at the crease is a solitary delivery. I thought it was middle stump at first. It's actually off stump that it's castled back. The big in-swinger. What is it about the lower league cricket? We see a lot more in-swing bowlers.
Yeah, and kind of a lot more less conventional actions as well, I suppose you could say. Vishal kind of bowls off the wrong foot. But yeah, really good bowler for this level. And higher up, he's played a bit of twos as well. Good bit of twos, so swings that ball a long way.
We've seen a lot of the bowlers on show here today in particular make really good use of the new red ball. Of course, slightly unconventional to be playing all the T20 cricket this year. The red ball, that one driven back. New man to the crease. Kashyap. And Svipul Kashyap in at number 3. The non-striker's end is the YMCA captain, Sonny Singh. But they have a tall task to chase down this 8 and over.
Just checking out the field, 2 men out are Thurman and square leg. Sean Hussey here at square leg.
Beats him outside the off stump. Isobel Joyce was talking about that earlier. So often you see the big banana in swingers you're expecting to come in, then you get beaten on the outside edges. It just stays a little straighter.
Having been a big in-swing bowler myself when I was younger, you do actually tend to get a little kind of away nip sometimes as well, just the way you roll your fingers over that side of the ball.
Almost kind of a leg cut to the action as you release.
Yeah.
Driven down the ground. Going to be the first runs of the chase. Straight to mid-off, but plenty of time to get through for a single. You'd have bowled a lot in your career at club level. Did you ever bowl up at international level at all?
I did actually. I bowled 9 overs in a game against Holland. I think I had pretty good figures as well. Got a wicket, and that was it. Got an LB. I have no idea who it was. I think that Baz Zudrant. I think he nicked me through the slips for 4 as well. Yeah, it was a 3-day game.
This is a classic
Holland.
Joyce description. I have no idea who I got out. Oh, it was Baz Zudrant. He nicked me. I should have had him twice. I got him again.
No, I didn't actually get him out.
You should have had him.
Someone else, yeah, exactly.
Bowled him. A second one of the over to castle the stumps. Merrion are running riot here. 2 wickets inside the over. What a start for the home side. Great scenes of celebration already. They are all over YMCA, who are reeling at 1 for 2.
Bit of scrambling, I think, from the YM players. Get the pads on. Yeah, another big in-swinger. And Vishal Singh is absolutely delighted.
That has gone like a banana, hasn't it? He's come wide of the crease, as you say, slightly unorthodox action. It's not quite off the wrong foot. It's almost a hop, skip and a jump into it. Lands the back foot. Arm comes probably from a little bit behind the parallel of 12 o'clock from a clock face. And it's ended up going into leg stump, that one.
Good bowler, especially with the new ball. Very awkward to face. And he's always attacking the stumps. He's looking for LB's balls.
Yeah, I think he'll be watching that replay back of both of those in the first over. What a start. An opening bowler's dream. You've got to hit the stumps. You want to hit the top of off that one, hit leg. 2 in the over, clean bowled. YMCA reeling. 1 for 2. It'll be Devonish Singh in at number 4 for YMCA thirds. We haven't seen high scores this year, and losing 2 early wickets. The statistics say if you lose 3 wickets in the power play in the first 6 overs, you lose over 90% of your matches. So YMCA have to consolidate, but keep the scoreboard ticking somehow.
Yeah, and that'll be tough. I think with Merrion, have quite an attacking field here. We've got a cover and a mid-wicket, saving the single. Got a slip in now. I'm not quite sure what the slip is for with someone bowling at big in-swingers, but yeah, I think it's going to be 4 dot kind of here at the moment, unless they hit the mid-on or mid-off fielders who are on the ring.
Yeah, I'd love to see a captain attacking in whatever the format of the game. Sing down the track. Smashes it first ball. Really good fielding at backward point. Full length across to his left, saves a certain boundary.
Yeah, Manus Bester there at backward point. And that's exactly what a fielding captain will be asking. Get a big diving stop in early, set the tone for the innings. And we mentioned earlier, he ran for Cy Reddy. Great team man, brilliant athlete, great golfer and rugby player. We'll see him with the ball now as well.
You're going to see Hermanus Bester open the bowling. Cracking name, Hermanus Bester. Tell me he's got some initials as well. Tell me it's a HJG Bester or something.
I have not got a clue. I'm sorry, Lenny. I'm sure he'll correct us.
It's the Sri Lankans you so often think of as those kind of WPUJC VAT. These sort of names with the great middle names that they have. You were just a D Joyce, weren't you?
DI. Let's not mention the I.
I'm going to have to ask you now. Got you on the spot.
Here, Lenny.
It's Isobel, is it?
You
You're the middle name's after the sister?
It's the worst name of all time.
Go on then.
Ignatius.
Ignatius. That's a beautiful name, Dom. Very well named. Keeping
horrific.
With
my dad actually said to me one time, I think he was asking me, just filling in a form or something, he goes, "What's your middle name again?" I said, "Ignatius." And he goes, "That's ridiculous." I was like, "Well, you did pick it for me."
Might have been more your mother who has a hand in that, and that's exactly what YMCA need to get the scoreboard going. We're going to see not just 4 runs, but 5 to the total. Not a delivery Hermanus Bester is going to want to watch back in the live stream. Drags it down the leg side, runs away for a boundary.
Yeah, I think he'll kind of angle it in more than swing. He was bowling off spin actually last year.
Good quick running. Sean Hussey picks up cleanly, but it was the immediate call. Kenny Carroll told us the story on the live stream yesterday. Dom, you'd have played in that era as well. He said that, in fact, sorry, not Kenny Carroll, Fintan McAllister told us, whilst Kenny Carroll was doing what he does, getting runs, about Adrian Birrell's description of how run-outs occur, and he said the only time that it ever happens if you've got 2 hares, so 2 guys going quickly, it doesn't happen. 2 tortoises, it doesn't happen. Correct. But if you've got a hare and a tortoise, that's where you get into trouble.
He was big on that, the hare and the tortoise.
Is that what he meant? He meant that you've got to run at a similar pace? Or
well, you've just got to recognise what you are. So you know yourself if you're a tortoise or a hare. Some people don't know that they're a tortoise, and they think they're a hare. And then they cause run-outs.
Are you throwing your former teammate Jason Mullins under the bus here now?
Well, a little bit maybe. But I was actually thinking of Simon Morrissey, who was a hare on steroids, and he just thought everyone else was as well.
Down the track. Immediate call of weight, and a very good call because the direct hit would have been out there. Picks out the man at mid-on.
Yeah, Adrian Birrell. What a coach. Incredible coach.
Can you sum up his impact that he has had on Irish cricket's legacy?
I mean, I don't think we'd be where we are without him. He just completely turned us around. Just the amount of time he spent with us. He was a real people person, and he had really kind of simple plans where he wanted to take us forward. He was big on the kind of 1%ers, and then he made big calls as well. I think Jason was the captain when he first came in, and he ended up dropping Jason, I think, purely I think based on fielding, which is a big call, so it kind of set the tone for everyone else. Everyone else needed to get up to scratch with the fielding. And then of course we had Trent Johnson, an incredible captain, and they were the two really, I think, that turned it all around.
Thuds into the thigh pad, really good running. I don't know what
stuck
exactly
the ball
happened
stuck
there.
in his pad, and it just kind of popped out to mid-off.
Probably should have run 5 or 6 there, just kept going with it in there. Yeah, I suppose our Irish cricket had just come out of what I hope people won't mind me describing as a bit of a shambolic era, with the kind of Ken Rutherford patch, a really disappointing ICC trophy in 2001. Rutherford left in 2003, and Birrell came in, and as he's famously described it, he was given a car and a kit bag, and that was the setup. There was no more for him, but he transformed that side from a team that had never qualified to a World Cup to one that's found its route all the way to Test cricket now.
Yeah, I think all the players loved him, and he really, really hated dropping people. It was the worst thing for him, because he had that great relationship with the players, and we loved him as well. He did have to drop me just before the 2007 World Cup.
Was it a straight shootout really between yourself and Kenny at that point?
Kenny
probably.
Kenny kind of snuck in really at the last minute. No, I think it was fair enough. Looking back, I definitely deserved to be dropped.
You did indeed
Obviously
play.
Not quite upset at the time, but
you played in the inaugural ODI up in Stormont against your own brother. The
Yeah.
surreal scene of that with Joyce, one Joyce in blue and another Joyce in green.
yeah, that was bizarre. Really, really strange. I think it was even weirder for Ed. Obviously having our family up there in his first game for England against me, like, very, very bizarre. I just remember batting in that second innings. I don't know if you remember. How's your Badger skills? But Steve Harmison,
Yep,
bowled me two 5 wides. Then he bowled me an absolute Jaffa playing miss, and then I just went back and blocked one and rolled back onto the stumps. That was the end of me.
Harmison, who was more than a handful. That's going to beat the infield, and we're going to see how quick this outfield is. Sensational stuff. Full commitment from her man
Xander de Beer.
I'm sorry, that is the subfielder, Xander de Beer. Getting my South Africans confused in the Merrion lineup.
Another incredible athlete. Merrion will actually be quite happy to have him in the field instead of Sai.
Where's Irish cricket come in that 14-year period since our inaugural ODI?
Oh God, sum up 14 years. Obviously a long way. I think Ed coming back was a big deal. That's why we watched this. Great shot.
That's going to be more runs to the total.
A beautiful shot.
Good to see YMCA continuing to take the aggressive route, dancing down the track. Dev Singh finding the middle of the bat, counteracting the in-swing and finding 4 more runs to the total.
Yeah, in a way, I don't think they've any other option. They're kind of really clear for YM. They have to go hard here. That was a lovely back cut between point and third man there.
It was an interesting one though, because it was almost with the full face of the bat as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just waited for it really nicely. Looks a classy player.
He bowled very well, 4 effective overs at the death for YMCA with his darting off breaks. Doing a job with the bat now. Good Yorker and great running. Good intent from YMCA. Often you'll see a side lose 2 early wickets and they'll completely shut down and almost freeze under the pressure, but they're continuing to show good intent.
Yeah, from ball 1 he's actually run really well. He's hit a few lovely shots, but he's also got the singles. Well bowled by Vishal Singh though. Good comeback, little Yorker.
Beauty through to the keeper. Super stuff this from Singh. Already found 2 wickets, nearly at a third.
Yeah, I think coming back to your question about where we've come, obviously we've got all the contracts. We've got the first class system. Another team would be great there. It all depends on money though. Money is the main thing that will drive us forward, I think, because we need to develop our facilities further. If we develop our facilities further, we're going to be able to develop the players. I think tours are huge. If we have the money to tour, touring is really where a player can mature. I think just playing multiple games in a week, say, you just learn so much about your game.
You're just back live here at Anglesey Road as well. Direct hit ends up costing an overthrow. Yeah, there has to be a tinge of sadness and irony, the fact that we've finally got a system and a structure that's giving us a guaranteed number of fixtures, and from absolutely nowhere a global pandemic comes out, and we just don't know how many of those games are going to be possible coming up in the near future.
Obviously pretty much everything was cancelled this year apart from the England games, and we saw even how much Harry Tector, Camphor obviously progressed in 3 games. It's pretty much exactly what I was talking about with the tours. So more tours you can get, all get their facilities in order, then the players will develop. I think we've got great dedication in our youth coaches. So I think we will always produce the players. It's just whether they have, I think, the room. We definitely have the ability, whether they have the room to excel.
Wide signalled by umpire Steve Wood after the appeal tries to change his mind. So otherwise, I think the word you're looking for is exposure, isn't it? They need the exposure to that top level cricket. Yep.
I don't know what's on the pipeline. I'm not sure if you know.
Well, as of right now, our next fixture is unknown. A little bit like an awful lot of the developing nations, the likes of the sides at Cricket World Cup League 2 level. All of those matches currently on hold.
And of course, the great thing at the moment is we see Gareth Delaney, Andrew Balbirnie, Paul Sterling all playing in T20s. How good is it to see Gareth Delaney doing so well?
Yeah, phenomenal. And perhaps a few of the other Irish boys, the likes of Harry Tector, probably a bit unlucky not to pick up a contract. The global pandemic opening the door there for Gareth, because the Irish players, even though are now considered as overseas players, no other overseas players could really get in. And the Irish boys going across, they'll just have to serve their 2 weeks quarantine, coming back, and all 3 of them doing really well and flying the flag for Irish cricket so effectively. Thuds into the pad, big appeal. Hermanus Bester's convinced. Steve Wood isn't.
Looked a bit high. He's a small man. Looked a tad high at first glance.
Just going to have a look at the replay on our screen and see if it was in any way close. It was certainly high, as you say. We're side on to the crease, unusual for a commentary position. Oh, that's why the appeal was so vociferous, because it was adjacent. So Steve Wood has probably ruled that not out on height and height alone.
Yeah, and he's batting outside his crease, outside leg. Walked right across the stumps.
Down the track again. That's going to be 4 more. Brilliant batting. Brilliant batting. Nearly castles in to the great man Arthur Vincent, the reigning 3-time president of Cricket Ireland, who's here to help us with our post-match affairs. But Arthur didn't even flinch. He just let it go right next to him. No problems, Arthur.
Singh looks an excellent player. Great shot. Cut down the track. Hammered over cover.
Yeah, when you're chasing down the likes of 8 and over or more, you've got to take advantage of that power play, and Singh's recognising that despite the early wickets. He looks a very tidy player, to say the least. Follows up the boundary by just checking it down to backward point, always get through for the single. Might have to have a word about Sean Hussey being right on the edge of the circle there, maybe.
I don't mind the backward point being on the ring. I think he's primarily there to stop a boundary.
Yeah, but if you watch the likes of a Kenny Carroll when they operate there, they're still on the edge of the ring, but they're anticipating the shape of the shot. They're getting in, pressing that single.
Well, I think Kenny's a bit special, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Mr. Elastic.
Absolutely outstanding he was yesterday. The man of the match in a losing cause for OA Union. The LHW Financial Planning Senior Final driven. That's a glorious shot. Loud cheers from the YMCA bench again, all the way along the ground. We've seen power from Sai Reddy in the first innings. That was all class from Vipul Kashyap.
Great little counter-attack here by YM. Some really classy strokes. No slogging.
Well, sitting there almost up with the rate, Dom, aren't they?
Yeah, 10 and over. Beautifully played 3 covers, and then they're getting the singles as well, which is crucial. So they're not just relying on the boundaries.
Nicely played. Good comeback as well from Bester. It's going to close out his second over. 2 expensive ones from him, though. He's got none for 26 from his 2. And we've got a game on. A great cup final in store.
I think Hermanus Bester might hold him back for the death. He bowled the death a lot in the semi-final. I would say Vishal will bowl out. As a swing bowler, you want to use as new a ball as you can. So I'd say he'll bowl 4 on the trot.
I don't know if you're watching the England-Australia ICC Cricket World Cup Super League match, the first ODI the other day, but it was a throwback to much more old school one-day cricket. You saw Josh Hazelwood bowl his 8 overs through at the top, bowling a good test match length. And
what a bowler. I was actually meant to play Mitchell Stark in Sydney when I played the season in Sydney, and I was going to open the batting, and thankfully he pulled out injured.
Did you pull out or did he pull out?
No, he pulled out. God.
Yeah, he is nothing short of rapid, isn't he? He also at times erratic, very difficult bouncer to pick up. Outstanding Yorker. Just such a huge frame as a left arm seamer as well.
I did face Mitchell Johnson though in the Under-19 World Cup.
Big appeal, given not out. Again, if you're bowling these big hooping in swingers, everything has to be just right. And the umpire, Venkat Yamala, unmoved.
I'd like to have another look at that. Merrion were very, very convinced of that. Possibly doing too much.
Very close.
Possibly doing too much.
Very close. I think probably at best maybe clipping on the Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But certainly you can see why the appeal was so enthusiastic. And again, trying to counteract that movement by getting down the track. He is also batting a little bit outside his crease as well, Dom.
Yeah, good batting. I think Merrion might think about bringing the keeper up just to get him to keep staying in his crease.
Absolutely glorious here. Sun splitting the heavens for the first time in a long time in what's been a rather damp climax to the summer. We're getting our Indian summer here with the LHK Insurance Middle Cup final. Oh, that's a glorious shot. Stand and deliver stuff. It was bowled into the slot and he's gone over the offside, inside out over extra cover. That's a shot fitting of a much higher grade. Outstanding batting.
Just step back in his crease there. Hammered over cover, beautiful shot. Again, the contrast in the 2 innings is quite apparent. There's stroke play here. There was bludgeoning power in the first innings. Yeah, you'd have to think this guy should be playing at a higher level, possibly.
Yeah, shows the strength of YMCA at the moment, though, that Dev Singh down in their third 11. The big day for the cup final. Down the track again, finds a pitch of the ball. Even when he's not getting runs, he's hitting the ball hard still.
Yeah, I think he'll need to go big. Why am I going to chase this? Got to try and get 60, 70, 80. The rest of their guys got to bat around him.
Yeah, but they're right up with the rate. You can see after the initial euphoria for Merrion, there's just a little bit of concern starting to set into the home side. Full toss and punished. He's not going to miss out in the form he's in. He took his time and he picked the gap between backward point and extra cover. Super shot.
Beautiful shot again. Covers his region, isn't it? Seems to be playing really nicely, kind of a little bit into out. I think Merrion might need to just try a couple of slower balls, maybe get a spinner on, see how he goes against spin, change it up somehow.
I know it was a full toss and it wasn't a good delivery, probably the worst one of Singh's spell, but it was so impressive the way he manipulated the ball to find the gap. You could see he intentionally opened the face, didn't try to overhit it, and as soon as it beats the infield here, it's going to be 4. It's brought about a change in the field, both fine leg, and third man up into the circle. We've got a deep extra cover.
I hate seeing that. And chasing the ball as a captain, you don't set a field for bad bowling. That's a full toss. You do not set a field for that.
Comes down the track and he ends up kind of yorking himself. It was Singh to Singh, and that's going to close out the 5th over with this cup final not just interestingly poised but perfectly poised. We're going to have a change in the commentary box. I'm going to thank Dom Joyce for the moment. I'll hear from him a little bit later on. Over now to Isobel Joyce and John Anderson.
Yes, thanks, Andrew. Well, at the same point in the Merrion innings, Merrion were only 23 after 5, so YM well ahead of where they were at the same point. Obviously 2 wickets in the first over, not ideal for them, but doing well since then.
Yeah, after being 1 for 2, YMCA, they've certainly counter-attacked, and Devansh Singh and Vipul Kashyap have gone extremely well, taking the attack to the Merrion bowlers.
So Raghav comes on to bowl from the Stevenson's end. A change in the bowling, and Merrion will hope for a change in fortunes. He's got cover out, square leg out. It also has third man out, so 3 outside. Oh, they're bringing square leg in. No ball there. So really need to start taking wickets here, Merrion. And that's not how they're going to do it. First one down the leg side, not unusual, but not ideal for Merrion.
Yeah, last over of the power play here. It's a big over. If Merrion can get a third wicket, they'll feel they're on top. However, it's a big over also for YM. If these two can be there at the end of the power play, they'll feel that they'll be on top. They'll be able to tick it around for overs 7 to 10 possibly.
He's hitting a good length and fielding well off his own bowling. Well, runs on the board in a final, John. Still 115 to get for YMCA in the remaining 14.3 overs. There's always scoreboard pressure when you're chasing anywhere over 120.
Yes, definitely runs on the board in the finals vital. The rate required only 7.8, so very gettable. And Kashyap and Singh going very well at the moment. Just important to get out this power play without any further damage to this YMCA innings. So that 2 set batsmen are there. Tick it around in the middle overs and set it up for the death.
An expansive shot as the wicketkeeper comes up to the stumps. It's well taken by him, but it is a wide. Akshay Dubey taking well. But he won't thank his bowler for bowling wide just as he comes up to the stumps.
Yeah, the 2 fielders on the boundary are currently third man and deep extra cover, so Raghav Khurana looking to bowl in that channel outside off stump on that occasion, just a little bit too much.
Yeah, I like that length at that pace. Very difficult to hit unless you're going to take on the field and hit over the top. Vipul Kashyap is quite small in stature, so that length really difficult for him to get on top of.
Yeah, other than a 2 wide, it's been a good over from Raghav Khurana.
And just like Merrion did in their innings, taking on mid-off and mid-on, YMCA is running, especially these 2. Well, the other 2 were obviously out in the first over, but these 2 have run really well between the wickets. Very impressive from them.
Yes, it's been a feature of their partnership here. The running between the wickets. They've hit the boundary when the opportunity has presented themselves, and in between they've ran really well, keeping that scoreboard ticking over.
Full but really well fielded in point by the stand-in skipper Nitin Sharma. And you just feel like there's a little bit of nerves in the Merrion fielding team right now. They've had a few shides at the stumps when people aren't backing up, a couple of overthrows, and
yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Leg side, quick single, calls for the bowler's end, but well backed up in the end by the sub-fielder.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of panic in the Merrion fielders here. As you say, a few shars at the stumps unnecessarily. The counter attack from Singh and Kashyap, taking them a little bit by surprise.
And that's the end of the power play. It was an expensive fifth over, but the sixth, bowled by Raghav Khurana, just going for 4 runs. So YMCA 46 for 2. And I think these middle overs would be really interesting to see. Do they keep on chasing boundaries, or do they just try and tick it around like you said? They need just between 7 and 8 and over. Or exactly 8 and over, apologies. And much as that seems very gettable, 1 or 2 overs below that rate can really make the required run rate climb.
Yeah, with the end of the power play, this first sign of spin in the Merrion attack. But it's Shukamani coming on from the Hazeldean end. We saw a lot of spin in the first innings, bowled from the same end, and we're a little bit critical of the YMCA captain and bowlers from this end because it is a short boundary out to the leg side, and once again spin from this end. So Wicket will be turning it away, fair enough, but he's certainly got his work cut out defending this boundary with Singh and Kashyap going really well.
Full straight away, well fielded off his own bowling. Well, I was going to ask you about him left arm spin around the wicket. Do you think maybe they've elected to bowl from the Hazeldean end because both these batters seem very a bit more comfortable on the offside, so they're encouraging hitting towards the bigger boundary? Just dotted down to third man, well picked up, but
once again excellent running between these two.
Yeah, Vipal Kashyap lightning between the wickets. He was lightning in the field, actually really impressed me in the field. He was marshalling the boundary in front of us here and did a really good job at managing to keep the boundaries down. But yeah, both of these players have shown they can hit well through the offside, so perhaps that's a decision Merrion have decided to make, that they're going to make them hit to the longer boundary.
Yeah, but it's first couple balls just a little bit quicker. He's not afraid to change his pace, hold it back and push the odd one through. I don't think he'll be giving it much air with the short boundary, but he is brave, as I said, so you never know.
Really well played. There's a little paddle, fine, easy shot there, really vacant gap. Oh, apologies, it's 5 wides. Didn't make contact with that at all. Didn't need to.
I think the wicket keeper, change of decision, there we go. It was a good shot, it was off the bat. Very well played. There's no 45 in place, and with the Wicket just skidding it through, it's an easy shot. It's just a little paddle, anything on it, and it's going to race away over this lightning outfield for 4.
Well, at the moment he's operating with a 5-4 offside field, so he can't afford to get too straight. Pulls the length down. We mentioned one boundary and a number of singles in each over will keep YMCA up with the rate easily, and they're showing they can do that now in this first over from Vidit Sukramani. So that they pass the 50 mark, 53 for 2, and these two looking really comfortable at the crease.
A little bit slower there from Vidit. Pushed out to cover for no run. Harry Ramasetti doing the fielding.
Yeah, I think that's a better option. Bowl a little bit slower. If you're not going to have that 45 in place, you can't encourage them to keep on lapping it. Defended again. Third man reads it really well. Comes in, attacks, make sure there's no single there to close out the over. So 2 dots to finish that for Merrion. A good finish from Vidit. YMCA 53 for 2 from 7. And it is quite hot here. It's warmer in September than it was probably in July and August. Pity we're not playing on for another few weeks, John.
Yeah, definitely a pity we're not playing, but sure, that's the year that it is. We just have to get on with it. But great game in prospect here. Really evenly poised at the minute.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, this is the LHK Insurance Middle Cup between Merrion 3s and YMCA 3s. Merrion won the toss, batted first and set a target. It was 158. They lost 7 wickets. Sai Reddy was the star of the show, scoring over 70. He's not taking the field, he's injured. He's also the skipper, but Nitin Sharma taking over duties. Slower ball first up from Raghav Khurana. Good running between the wickets. Again, a feature that this pair have shown. And not the ball you want to bowl first up. He hasn't started off his either of his overs very well, John, but bowled well after a wide first up last time out.
Yeah, just over pitching that occasion. And this time down the leg side, well taken by wicketkeeper Akshay Dubey. Not really finding his lining length at the moment, Raghav Khurana. YMCA batsman putting the Merrion bowlers under pressure. Partnership now worth 55.
That's better, but it will be a single. Sander De Beer, 12th man, comes in for the skipper that I mentioned earlier. He comes around to field that at long off. Work to leg side, but it will just be one. And if you are just joining us, you might not know that first over was very eventful for Merrion. Took 2 wickets, so YMCA were reeling it 1 for 2. They've recovered really, really well. These two, Singh and Kashyap, putting together a very good partnership. 57 it's worth so far in just the 7 overs. Looks like they're going to be content to keep knocking the ball around for 1s and 2s. Clever way to play it.
Yeah, it's just this period might be a little bit of a lull in boundaries, but certainly this YMCA pair playing it well, ticking it over with 1s and 2s.
Again strays down leg side, and umpire Steve Woods raises his hands again.
There's a little slower ball just back of the hand from Raghav Khurana. Unfortunately just down leg side. At least he's trying to mix it up, trying to put the batsmen off their stride, because they certainly both, Singh and Kashyap, good rhythm. Singh 27 of 24 on strike.
And he's once again straight down leg side, so a little bit of frustration I think from the bowler and wicketkeeper. They think that it may have clipped the pad, but Steve Woods unmoved. He's very calm and collected umpire, huge experience. And Raghav just trying to bowl 2 straight. He does have the field set for straight bowling, but probably needs to just err more on the side of off stump.
Yeah, that's the 3rd wide in the over, so he needs to find his line and length, yeah.
Once again, work to leg side. It's the same one all day, so if Merrion keep bowling like this, then it'll be a canter for YMCA to get to the end, but there are plenty of overs left and plenty of runs left to score. They've just broken the 100 required, so YMCA now needing 97 in their remaining time, and it's plenty of runs still to get in a final. And finally, he hits his mark on the final delivery, gets out unscathed. 8 overs gone. YMCA 62 for 2.
Yeah, another good over there for YMCA. Just the final ball being a dot, but a run off every other ball that over. So definitely a plan of theirs to tick it over, just knock it around. Devon Singh just knocking it into the leg side for a few easy singles that over. Vipul Kashyap happy and content just to knock it down the ground. They're looking very comfortable at the moment. And Captain Nitin Sharma for Merrion needs to come up with a plan to get a wicket.
That's Vidit Sukramani returning for his second. He went for 6 in his first. Slows the pace up. It's hit bottom-handed to long on. Sean Hussey collects. I think sometimes you can search a little bit too much as a captain. Try and make sure that your bowlers are going for, one a ball, and hope that the batsman hit to a fielder once or twice, and suddenly you're only going for 4, bowling from behind the stumps. Once again, that lap sweep comes out, and that really is a free hit for Vipul Kashyap. He's done that twice in 2 overs now, and
field placing is needed here. That's looks like one of Vipul Kashyap's favourite shots, and an easy shot without a 45 in place. Now Nitin Sharma moves from mid-wicket into the short fine leg to try to stop that shot. There's a change-up from Vidit, just bowling from behind the stumps. A good change-up. Something different required here in order to get the breakthrough.
That's the second time he's done that this over. It's not a bad ploy, just makes the batter think that it's a full toss when it's not. Quicker one, but fielder is in place. There's that possible overthrow we were talking about, so no need to throw there. They weren't trying to take on the fielder, but a little bit of excitement means he just couldn't resist it.
Yeah, Merrion got away with that. Kashyap will be disappointed. He hit it straight to Raghav Achal, third man.
Once again behind the stumps, bowling off 24 yards, slows it up, and now that 45, that little lap sweep's been blocked up for Kashyap, he's looking to hit it down the ground. He's finding that a lot more difficult. Again, that arm ball, and once again finds the fielder at third man. So a good finish to the over after an expensive second ball. It just goes for 5.
Yeah, excellent comeback there by Vidit Shukamani. Just the 5 off that, 6 off his first. And he was trying to vary it there, the arm ball, slower, and then held the pace back. Also bowling from behind the stumps, just trying to change something, trying to get a wicket. But yeah, I think the captaincy there of Nitin Sharma was excellent. Obviously, 2 lap sweeps to the vacant short fine leg, and he's now blocked that. So asking the question of Kashyap if he got anything different.
So that's 9 overs gone. YMCA 67 for 2. And it's the stand-in skipper Nitin Sharma bringing himself on from the Stevenson's end. Came on late in the day last week. Took a wicket and then was expensive, so he'll be hoping he can do a bit of the first but not as much of the second in this spell.
Yes, Nitin changed to off-spin this year. He's been a stalwart of Merrion Cricket Club over the years, captaining the twos, playing. He even played on the first team last year and took a 5-wicket haul, but now changed to off-spin.
That's really well placed in the gap. That one will race away. Devansh Singh finds the gap between third man and point, but really well chased down by Merrion. Just the 2 for that effort. Quite a seam-like off-spinner, Nitin.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'd be trying to turn it too much. More the darts type of off-spinner. But yeah, these YMCA batsmen looking very comfortable at the moment.
Tries the same again, but doesn't manage it. It's a strange option to keep on trying to hit it down there. There are 2 fielders operating behind point. Might be better off trying to hit the ball firmly through covers.
Yeah, don't mind it off the first ball, which was bowled a little bit quicker, and you can use the pace, whereas that one was slowed up, and without any pace on it, you're not going to beat the 2 men behind point on the offside.
Big appeal, and Steve Wood nods his head. Nitin Sharma has got his man, golden arm. Yes, that's the danger man, Devansh Singh. He was playing so beautifully through the offside earlier. He's gone for 31 from 28, and that's a huge blow for YMCA.
Excellent partnership there between Singh and Kashyap of 68. But a massive wicket. That's the wicket that Merrion wanted. Skipper bringing himself into the attack. That one looked pretty straight. Hit Singh on the front pad. And Steve Wood took his time. The old nod of the head. And you knew what was coming after that. So YMCA now 3 down. 69 on the board in the 10th over. Requiring 8.4 and over. Another 90 runs required.
Yeah, it's a big wicket. They really needed that. Merrion needed to break that partnership. They had managed to slow the run rate the last few overs, but especially the running between the wickets between the two, Kashyap and Singh. You just wonder if these two will have such good understanding. They might run really well, but taking that third wicket, having taken the first two in the first over, is super important. Now Mayank Rajput makes his way out. Big job for him to do. And he's solid on the front foot to start off. So Nitin Sharma, what a decision from him to bring himself on.
Yeah, that's the captain's brought himself on, and you can the Merrion field is every single one of them now buzzing, chatting away, clapping. They're up for this game, no doubt.
And just plays it gently down to long off. So excellent over from Nitin Sharma, just the one remaining in the over. And with every over that goes by without many runs being scored, that required run rate is going to go up. Quicker ball, looks to lap that one, but can only lap it onto his own chest, and he'll have to give that one a bit of a rub. Didn't look like the most pleasant. A throwback to Nitin's seam bowling days, and 10 overs gone. YMCA 70 for 3.
Yeah, game in the balance at the moment. Maybe just tilted slightly to Merrion's favour with that wicket. There's an excellent partnership between Singh and Kashyap. And a big breakthrough by Nitin Sharma.
So half their innings gone, and they've got a platform of 70 for 3. So by no means in one camp or the other, but I think a few overs ago Merrion would have been a little bit worried, and they'll be a bit more at ease now as Wicket returns for his third. Slows it right up. Bowls just down leg. Doesn't manage to get the turn to come back and hit the stump, so signalled a wide by umpire Venkat Yanala. But he looks to bowl about half of his deliveries from behind the stumps, John.
Yes, changes it up nicely. There's another one from behind the stumps, full, squeezed into the leg side. Xander De Beer picks up, and just the one run.
Interestingly, Nitin Sharma looks like he's calmed down quite a lot since he brought himself on to bowl. Sometimes as a bowler, it's the thing that calms you down the most. You get to be in the game, you get to affect some change. Down the wicket, just clips it to the leg side.
Yeah, we've seen over the last few balls when Vidit Sukhmani's been bowling to Kashyap with that short fine leg down place. They've asked him to play another shot. On that occasion, he came down the wicket, looked for the big shot. Get the feeling that something's going to happen here. Excellent fielding. Short third man. Raghav diving to his right. Excellent stop. They still managed to get through for the single.
Yeah, I don't mind how close he is. He's cutting off the angles there at third man. They're looking to cut wide of third man. And gone leg side. There is a fielder out there, but he hasn't hit it well enough.
Once again, Kashyap coming down the wicket, looking for the big shot. They've taken away his lap sweep, asking him to play something else, see if he's got something else in his locker.
A nicely played through cover by Mayank Rajput. He's looked pretty good since coming out. almost a run of ball, 4 from 5. If Merrion can squeeze in a few more overs where they just go to run a ball, then they'll really put themselves in the box seat come the final overs.
Yeah, rates creeped up just on 9 and over now.
Speeds it up again. They'll be looking to get 2 here. Rajput turns and goes. The throw not quite good enough for run out. So well run in the end. 2 finishes up the 11th over. And we'll say goodbye to John Anderson for now. And first time in the commentary box, I think I can say 2 Joyces. Welcome, Dom.
Family affair.
Well, what a game we have on our hands, and we're right in the sun. You'll love that. I know how much you love the sunshine, John or Dom. Apologies.
Yeah, I've just been hiding in the shade.
We were wondering where you got to.
20 minutes.
Someone bring this man a cap.
Interestingly poised, isn't it? I do think I would still have Merrion slightly on top. Run rate climbing a bit.
Well,
they haven't really shown the power, have they, at YM yet? They're kind of a lot of stroke players, a lot of singles. I haven't seen the big shots really. It's not to say they don't have it.
Yeah, they seem to have been looking for 1s and 2s in the last few overs, and that works as long as you don't face any dots in the over. But Nitin Sharma and Wicket really tying things up the last few overs. That one's got through the gap. Chase is on. They'll manage to. Poor
shambolic.
fielding. Poor fielding means they can come back for 3, and you don't want to give Vipul Kashyap an opportunity. He's lightning between the wickets.
That was fairly shambolic fielding then. A third man. There's a little brains trust of 3 fielders there in between them. They got it all wrong. Came back for 3 runs.
Slows it up. An early call of 2 from Vipul Kashyap. He wants to come back, but his partner knows that he won't make it. Vishal Singh doing well out there in Cow.
Great running though, putting the fielder under pressure. I think all the Merrion fielders now need to be on their toes. I see the YM game plan is just run hard.
Well, I just see Sean Hussey warming up down at long on there, so we might see more spin. That's well bowled by Nitin Sharma, bowling a little bit flatter, and those 2 fielders at third man and point have just come a little bit closer together. Very difficult to get it through that gap.
No square leg, Isobel. I think we might see a sweep here. I saw him eyeing up that square leg boundary.
Well, no better opportunity, but he misses out. The new man, Rajput, just about clips it and does get a single, but that athlete, Manas, coming around to keep it to 1.
Game.
Exactly.
Tim Knight goes back now to square leg, so there is a square leg in place for Kashyap.
Nice shot, well bowled, good cricket all around.
Nitin hasn't quite completed his transition to spin, has he?
No, that was just a genuine seam ball, wasn't it? I was just going to say there's a little bit of panic coming back into the Merrion fielding. Very much a quicker ball from Nitin Sharma, but unfortunately it's a wide. You reckon he's signalled the wicketkeeper to tell him that's coming? Because he didn't look very surprised.
It's basically a full pace ball from Nitin there. Don't think we've seen much turn, have we?
Well, those wides do mean that all that the YMCA players have to do is hit singles off the others, but not a terrible one from Nitin, not as good as his first. That ends the 12th. YMCA 86 for 3 from 12. I was just talking with John earlier, Dom, about when there's been really good running between the wickets from the YMCA players. We've seen Merrion just panic a little bit, throw the ball at the stumps when they don't need to, a few harsh words with each other. So you think YMCA will look at that and try and exploit it?
Yeah, I think, and they really missed Sai from that point of view. Sai's kind of good calming presence. That maybe Nitin lacks maybe slightly. Yeah, there's a lot of panic, a lot of shying at the stumps, not backing up. overthrows. But yeah, the wides and the good running by OIM are keeping them in the chase here.
Well, we do see a change of bowling from the Hazeldean end. It's Sean Hussey. We saw him earlier with the bat. He'll bowl some off spin. He'll bowl quite flat as well. And there are 3 fielders out in the leg side. Long off and extra cover. Short to start off with. And that's well fielded in the end and point. Never a nice one. Those ones that kind of stay in the air for a while. One bounce and he's used his shin to good effect.
Nice little bruise on his shin now for the next week. Vishal Singh there, point. No close in fielder on the leg side, so we could see some drop and runs.
That's an excellent shot. It's more of a ramp this time. He recognises the youngster likes to bowl flat. And that's an area that Vipul Kashyap likes to hit. That one's the first boundary in a while. And they'll need more of that, YMCA.
Excellent shot, just using the pace. Hussey under pressure immediately.
Changes things up immediately, bowling around the wicket, so he'll look to push it across the right-handed batter. And it's paying dividends straight away. I think this is a good option for Kashyap. Like I said earlier, he's a slightly smaller guy. He likes to use the pace, won't like to try and power it down the ground.
Good comeback from Hussey here. 2 dots. Pressure back on the batsman.
Yeah, just looking for that ramp again, but looking like he's finding it a little bit more uncomfortable with Hussey coming around the wicket. Really good thinking from the youngster. A little bit of miscommunication again between the fielders. Both of them were going for it. Then they both didn't go for it, but in the end they've managed to get it in. Vidit Sukaramani doing the job, so it's Rajput back on strike, and good comeback from Hussey here, just going for the 6 with 1 to go. Flatter once again to that man at third man. What a game he's having in that position.
Yeah, Raghav got down well to his left, stopped at definite 4, and Hussey gets out of the over, conceding 7. Rate still climbing.
Yeah, so 13 overs gone. You'd have to say the game is in the balance. YMCA 93 for 3. And 66 required. That's 9.3 runs and over. So if they can continue to bowl overs going for 6s and 7s, then Merrion will do well. But you get the feeling that this isn't all we have. We're likely to see from YMCA. They're setting it up for a big finish.
Yeah, well, they have the 7 wickets in hand, so I think they can certainly go for it here. I just have a feeling that there's going to be big shots in this over.
Over extra cover. Xander De Beer comes around, looks to keep it to 2, but that's really good wicket keeping. What fielding from the 12th man, Xander De Beer. Excellent throw. He knew straight away where he was to go. He threw to the wicketkeeper's end, who collected expertly and took the bails with serious pace.
Well, what a celebration as well. The hat went flying up in the air. He's really got into the game. He's 12th man on for Sai Reddy. And brilliant fielding down it. Long off, coming around to his left. Hunted the ball down, straight over the top. Easy job for Akshay Dubey to take the bails off.
Not someone that I know very well, Xander De Beer, but I did hear beforehand that he's a very keen cricketer, loves his fielding. Would have been disappointed to miss out today, do you think, Dom?
Yeah, and his reaction shows how well he's reacted to that. His reaction to the run out, that is. Obviously a real team player. Everyone got around him, gave him a big hug. Well, kind of socially distanced hug, let's say. Great spirit. Seems to be great spirit in that camp.
Yeah, always brilliant to see someone who's left out having an impact on the game, especially when they've taken it well. And it obviously means a huge amount to him to play his part and get the run out of Xander De Beer. So they really needed that wicket, Merrion. You feel that things were just about to accelerate. Vipul Kashyap looked a little bit sheepish after that run out. Good start from Nitin Sharma. More bowling, kind of seam off a few steps than off spin.
Straight breaks. He's saving his body. I think he had ankle and knee issues, so needs to be a seam bowler.
Slows that one up. Well picked up in mid-wicket by Tim Knight. So invaluable. These dots. That's exactly what you don't want as a batting team. Losing wickets in these overs means that the run rate slows down and your required rate goes up.
2 dots straight away to Mangat here, new batsman.
And a good return catch taken by Nitin Sharma. I think he's hit that onto his foot. Leading edge, perhaps.
Yeah, just kind of scooped it up.
Moves across, takes the catch. 2 wickets in 1 over. And Merrion must think they're in the ascendancy now.
Well, just like the first over, when Vishal Singh got 2 wickets, 2 in the over for Nitin Sharma. YM in big trouble, but they still have Kashyap in. He's well set. He's going to anchor the innings. I think the new batters need to get straight away off strike.
Yeah, a really difficult thing coming down the order is making sure you don't face dot balls. You make sure you get the set batsman on strike. Try and go at least a run a ball. And it's Puneet Rasha who will join Vipul Kashyap, and he's got a mountain to climb at this stage, so coming in at number 6. Well, two double wicket overs, really stopping the YMCA chase.
Yeah, no runs off this over so far. Nitin Sharma will obviously like to keep it that way. I think bringing a couple of fielders in for the new batter, good move. Bit of a strange field though. I don't see a cover. Okay, they've moved him around now.
Very straight cover at the moment, but they're moving him around. Yep, no third man. And he's moving fine leg across to third man. So fine leg is the area to score if you're looking for a boundary. So we'll see how brave that Russia is. Straight on the back foot. Tries to play it down to long on, but Nitin Sharma says, not when I'm around.
Great commitment there from Nitin. Big dive to the right. You always see the bowler make an extra effort for off their own bowling, don't you?
I'd say that usually it's an extra effort, but I think that Nitin always makes 100% effort in the field. Big shot, almost an opportunity in mid-wicket. Gets a finger to the man there. 2 fielders come around. It's that man De Beer again. So saves 2 runs there in mid-wicket. May have been a half chance, but I think Merrion will be happy to go for just the 2 in the over. 2 wickets, run out, a cotton bowled, and YMCA 96 for 6.
I think the man Raghav Khurana at mid-wicket there actually, yeah, as you said, saved 2 runs, I think is the way to look at that. Just got a fingertip to it. But great over for Merrion. 63 needed for YM off 6 overs now. That rate climbing all the time. Hussey to continue.
Yeah, run rate required now up to 10.5. So every over seems like a big over now. Got to make sure you go at least less than 10. Make sure that you don't give YMCA a big over. Sean Hussey continues from the Hazeldean end around the wicket. Another ramp. Is this another opportunity? Not Nitin Sharma. You cannot keep that man out of the game. Vipul Kashyap looks for his most productive shot once again, but Sean Hussey took the pace off, and that's the danger man out. Kashyap goes for 37.
Another brilliant celebration from Nitin there. A little kind of a semi-lap around the pitch. You'd have to think Merrion are firm favourites now. Clever bowling by Hussey. I think he slowed it up a bit. He recognised that Kashyap was just using the pace, trying to ramp, and just slowed it up. Didn't give him enough pace to work with. The ball just ballooned up to Nitin Sharma, 45 at short fine leg there.
Well, for a second there I thought he was going to trip up on his way around, but he managed to stay on his feet, Nitin. and take the catch. You'd have to say that wicket's kind of the culmination of a few tight overs from Merrion. Vipul Kashyap looking to score some boundaries, not as comfortable hitting down the ground, decided to go back to his most fruitful shot, the ramp or the lap, and it's been his undoing in the end. So number 8, we've William Connellan comes to the crease, 63 still to get and less than 6 overs in which to do it.
There's a lot of gesturing in the field, a lot of finger pointing.
Well, that often happens, doesn't it, when there's a left-right hand combination? Yeah. Skipper opting to shout at his bowler rather than run over to him, so we'll blame COVID for that. Socially distant bowler and captain's meeting. Ball cut off by Xander De Beer, is going away to his right, and Merrion won't mind singles at this stage.
No, I think all the ring fielders should probably just hang on the ring, give the singles, stop the boundaries. YM really need to target this short leg side, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with you. I think with a new batter in William Connellan, there's so much for him to do. Maybe having at least one in on the leg side to put a bit of pressure on him might help you continue to take wickets. Dances down, hits that into cover. Not great contact, so just the single from it. And Sean Hussey bowling a good hand today.
Getting quicker with every ball here.
I always wondered why he wasn't a seamer when I used to coach him when he was younger. He always wanted to bowl so flat, and he actually can turn it, but just opts not to.
He's got his little Graham Swan.
Great pickup. Shy at the stump set at the bowler's end, and once again the shins being utilised to back up. But look, if it works, Harry Ramasetti says, I'm going to do it.
Absolutely. Cup final, body on the line.
Down the ground, and that man Manus comes around. No 2 to him, and that finishes out the 15th over. A good one again for Merrion. 1 wicket from it, just the 5 runs. YMCA faltering 99 for 6. Apologies, 100 for 6.
So 59 off 5 needed for YM.
And with that, I'll say goodbye to my brother John and say hello again, Andrew Leonard.
Yeah, thanks a million, Izzy. Seen it all on the Cricket Leinster live stream. 2 Joyces commentating, husband and wife commentating. But back to the dream team, back to me and you, Iz.
We got to make an ad out of that one. Nitin Sharma again going for flatter delivery.
You can pretend you want to commentate with them all you want. I know it's me you want to get on with this. Yeah, we're going to have a great finish here. I jest, of course. Great to hear the thoughts of Dom Joyce and John Anderson, the former Irish internationals, 2 of the finest batters to ever grace the Irish scene.
And indeed, 2 of the best players to play for Merrion. They'll be delighted to see how this game is going. You have to say it's on the side of Merrion right now. Lots of work to do for these 2. Connellan and Rajput. 2 new batters at the crease. Exactly what you don't want going into the final overs, Lenny.
Yeah, such a difficult task for these 2. It has to be said, Nitin Sharma has weaved an absolute web. He's bowled beautifully.
Exactly. Well, I think he calls himself an off spinner, but you won't see much spin. Nonetheless, he's bowled a great length, and he's brought himself on exactly when wickets were needed.
One's hit down the ground, and it's going to split the 2 men in the deep. Brilliant from Xander. Xander De Beer in the deep. We've seen him effect a run out with that sensational throw, and what I'm calling the celebration of the weekend. He's the 12th man here today, but it means just as much to him as all his teammates. Saves 2 runs.
He was like a swan dive there. It was incredible fielding, full stretch, just the right hand saving the boundary, Excellent from him.
Looks for the slog sweep. Of course, YMCA have the advantage of the left-hand, right-hand combo here, so the left-hander can target this shorter side. Big discrepancy in the boundary size is probably only about 40 yards across to us here at the clubhouse side, but it's getting up towards over 10 and over now, is he?
Yeah, I think this is a good option, looking leg side. The fielder comes around, Harry Ramasetti. They will get to. I think that YMCA will have to really go the route of Cy Reddy. He really made use of this boundary. They'll have to learn from him and try and get a few to sail over the clubhouse.
Might just still have a twist yet. Isobel, plenty of cricket left to be played in this one. Worked off his legs, just going to be a single. Well fielded. Throw comes in, but they'll get through for one. So that closes out the 16th over. Just 4 overs remain. That required run rate, not just over 12 now, it's over 13. And the equation is 53 more to win off just 4 overs. A tall task, Isobel.
Yeah, very tall task. It's not one I think they've had to surmount this season. Merrion in the ascendancy and on their home ground as well, a real advantage in a final. Sean Hussey has done a really good job for his team. I've been impressed by how he's changed it up when he's been taken on. He wasn't afraid to go around the wicket. He's slowed it up a little bit, changed his field, and knows a lot about the game for such a young man.
Yeah, bowled really bravely as well. And as we saw in the first innings, not easy bowling spin from this end, but he's lucky he's got the left-hander top right too, which he'll enjoy. Turning the ball away from the left-hander, and also there's a bigger boundary with more protection. Marshalling his troops like a gnarled veteran at the moment, Hussey. Big task. They need boundaries, YMCA. And they could get one. It's hit out into the deep, but it's not going to be hit hard enough. And it's taken. That's the 7th wicket. Sean Hussey holds his arms aloft. That's a superb catch in the deep. Clung onto by Hermanus Bester in the wide brim hat. It's all going Merrion's way.
I think he would have been disappointed with how he bowled earlier. Hermanus turned into a seamer, fancies himself as a serious pace bowler. Didn't get the early wickets, but he's back in the game, taking a good catch. By no means an easy one. So wickets continuing to tumble for YMCA. That's the 7th for them. Less than 4 overs left, and they require another 53 to win this match. And this is the LHK Insurance Middle Cup final between YMCA and Merrion Thirds.
Yeah, one of 7 cup finals over Cup Finals weekend. Let's find out what's going on across at Railway Union as well. I'll give you a quick score update on that just as we get into the live match centre. So over there, it's all over, she wrote. Leinster fourths have been defeated by Clontarf. A comfortable chase for Clontarf, so some joy for the men over in Castle Avenue. New man to the crease even is Nitin Thambi, keeper batsman for YMCA. So this is the 7th and final trophy of the domestic club season. From a Leinster perspective, obviously we'll have YMCA next week go on to the All-Ireland final after beating, I think it was Cork County they beat today.
It was indeed. They move on to the final. Great to see them there. No surprise, really good YMCA team. We got to see them yesterday in the second final of the day in Pembroke Cricket Club. And it's the 4th game that you and I will be calling over the weekend. And what a weekend it's been. Sun's been shining and we've seen some really good cricket.
Comes off the outside edge. That's going to be a boundary 4. Immediately beats the infield. Not where the batsman intended. YMCA won't worry too much about that. They just need to keep going, to keep finding boundaries somehow. They look to smash it down the ground. Comes off the outside edge, right to where first slip would have been. 4 runs, moves him on to a Nelson, 111 for 7.
Well, we can forgive Merrion for not having a slip in the 17th over, but you're right. If there had been one there, it would have saved the boundary. And how often do we see that? A boundary followed by a wide. And Sean Hussey demands the ball back immediately.
This one's got to go for 6, I reckon. Comes off the outside edge again, but a brilliant diving stop. It has to be said, the Merrion fielding's been outstanding. Could end up being the difference between the sides.
I think it's gone from shambolic to outstanding. There have been 1 or 2 occasions when you'd hold your head in shame, but most of the time they've been outstanding, you're right.
Looks for the reverse sweep, hits him right in front of middle. Very difficult coming around the wicket.
Not sure it's the greatest option with the field placement that's on show.
A little bit like that scoop shot where he ended up getting caught. Target the short boundary. And he's done that this time, but with no real power. Very difficult coming in late in the innings. Just going to be a single. Really the bowlers and the all-rounders at the moment. So 3 overs remain. And YMCA need, not quite a miracle, but need some big hitting, and they need it fast. Still 45 more runs to win.
Yeah, it's looking like Merrion could be the one club to take 2 trophies this season. Just the 7 trophies on offer this year. It's been a curtailed season, but been brilliant to have some cricket to follow, and it's been brilliant to be able to put out this live stream. Cricket Leinster, of course, partnering with the Merrion Cricket Club, and we hope you're enjoying this wherever it is that you're watching from around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. The messages continue to come in. We've seen people watching from South Africa, Australia, across in Dubai. We've even got a couple of friends tuning in from America as well. Going to have a change of bowler. Wicket Sukramani coming into the attack with his left arm, or a change of end for him, with his left arm spin. Nearly down the tracker, Connellan, and just can't find any real aggression. They're going to try and run 2, and it was absolutely suicidal. I'm not exactly sure what they were thinking there. Connellan won't be run out, but Thambi will. Surely Thambi, who hit his first ball for 4, needed to stay there. That's going to be the 8th wicket.
Yeah, not really sure what just happened. I thought that Wicket was going to actually throw the ball at the stumps and might miss it, so that was the only way that was going to be that was going to save the wicket of Thambi, but he's on his way.
Yeah, poor piece of cricket. We have YM Salver final and this the LHK Insurance Middle Cup final.
Yeah, we've seen some really good fielding, some run-outs, but from really good fielding rather than bad runnings. They'll probably just take the single this time.
Yeah, so it looks very much like the home side. Merrion are going to close out the season with a win and some silverware.
Yeah, it's coming to a little bit of an anticlimax. It was such a good game all the way up until about over 13-14 when Merrion had a team double wicket over.
Looking to get that into the leg side, ends up just punching it down the ground for 1 into the offside. Singles are not going to be enough here for YMCA. Still in excess of 40 needed, and the boundaries are just not coming.
A really canny operator, Wicket Sukramani, changes it up, likes to bowl from behind the stumps as well when he bowls a little bit slower, so lots of different deliveries, very difficult to get on top of.
I've seen quite a few bowled from that sort of 24-25 yard mark, just trying to deceive the batsman. It's beautifully bowled, big appeal. I heard 2 noises there, perhaps an under edge as he looked for the ramp scoop shot. Again,
Yeah.
I've got to question the shot choices. You're not going to get 4 or 6 from that shot, even if you connect cleanly.
No, I think when you're practicing as a lower order batter these days, you actually practice those shots more. You're expecting to face a seamer coming back probably for their second spell, with fine leg and third man up, but it's not been the case today. A much better option, wide of long off. He's hit that really well.
Effort. Outstanding from Xander De Beer, dove full length to his left. The game's not a foregone conclusion in his mind. Why oh why would you be trying to ramp and scoop the ball for 4 or 2 when you can smash it down the ground like that for 4?
Yeah,
Much better.
Much better shot selection from him. Just got the long handle out, opened the blade. Beautiful shot. I can't let this day go by, Lenny, without mentioning the Stantons. I don't think we've spoken about the Stanton family and how they've set up this live stream.
Yeah, outstanding operators, all the Stantons. Arlene, the Queen Bee there, she's been outstanding over to our left, getting the scores updated. And she's threatening to cut the audio on us, so I've got my finger on the volume here. I'm not going to allow her. But our sincere thanks to them for all they do, not just for Merrion cricket but for Leinster cricket. And absolutely, you're correct to call them out, Is.
They've done a great job with the camera there. Tom Stanton up on the scaffolding. It's a good thing it's not a windy day. I don't think I'd fancy being up there myself, but well bowled.
Well, the only thing Tom's done wrong all day, and I know he's listening on a slightly delayed feed, he should have been zooming in over on his mum when we were talking about her. He didn't want the action on the pitch. We wanted to have a little bit of a look at Arlene. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone involved for pulling this together. It's really added to finals day, and that is going to be dropped. It was a tough chance. Looked to go inside out over the offside off the back foot. Get back for a couple, but Merrion really just need to make sure they're keeping their foot behind the line here. They're going to be all right.
Yeah, probably you'd have to say 20 runs required per over. Merrion almost home and hosed.
Bowled him. And good reward for Sean Hussey. It's been a super spell. His third wicket through the attempted cross-batted swipe of Ahmed. And yet another wicket falls. That's the 9th. Merrion just one away now.
Yeah, I think that meant a lot to Sean Hussey. He's toiled away. He's had to bowl to the short boundary, bowling around the wicket. They aimed for over the clubhouse, but to no effect. You miss, I hit, says Hussey. And as you say, one away. That bowler, Daniel Swift, comes to the crease, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it. Will he continue with the ramps and the sweeps, or will he look to try and clear the ropes down the ground? What do you reckon, Lenny?
They're all watching too much IPL, watching too much television. Stand there and try to hit it to cow corner like we all used to slog it. What's happened to the good old-fashioned slog?
You don't practice it anymore as a tail ender. You just practice ramps, I'm telling you. This is how it goes. They're all expecting to face Mitchell Thompson or Lenny.
Ramps and reverse scoops and switch hits and all sorts of nonsense. I think particularly lower down the grade, you're better just standing there. You're going to get enough bad deliveries. Try and punish them, particularly with a shorter boundary in play. Merrion on the brink here. He just one wicket to close out and take the final trophy of the season. The most beautiful of days. Nature conspiring to tease us here. Don't want the season to end, but it's going to have to. At least it's leaving us with fond memories here today.
Strays down leg side, Sean Hussey. He'll have to bowl that one again. Looks disgusted with himself.
And just getting a little bit of a talking to from the umpire as well, perhaps for running straight down the track afterwards. And his eagerness to get the ball back. The Huss. And that's going to be all she wrote. And Merrion thirds are going to be the LHK Insurance Middle Cup champions for 2020. And it's no more than they deserve. They've run out comprehensive winners by 33 runs. An outstanding team performance built around an outstanding knock from Sai Reddy, but contributions all the way through, not just the 11 of them, but all 12. And a super performance from the home side is going to leave the Anglesey Road faithful the happier of the two Sandymount sides.
Yeah, it was an innings from Merrion built around, first of all, Timsy Kanduja, 38 from 35, and once he was dismissed, Sai Reddy went about his work. He did suffer an injury. Really good running from Manus. Bester, well, he was just whacking the ball. He scored 70, Sai Reddy from 34. And then came the bowlers.
Yeah, some really good efforts. Pretty much all of the Merrion bowlers, possibly with the exception of Hermanus Bester, who didn't have his best day. 2 for 18 for Vishal Singh. And then Sean Hussey, he's somehow burgled in with a 4 for Nitin Sharma's 2 for 19. So those 2 early blows from Vishal Singh were the ones that put Merrion on top. But the comeback spells from the 2 off spinners, Nitin Sharma and Sean Hussey, ended up sealing the game.
Yeah, it was Vipul Kashyap and Devansh Singh who rebuilt the innings for YMCA after those 2 early wickets, but after that it's grim reading for YMCA as they're dismissed for 126.
So that's going to be all she wrote as we see the elbow bumps to close out the 2020 Cricket Leinster season. On behalf of me, Andrew Leonard, my co-commentators Isobel Joyce, John Anderson, Dominic Joyce all the Stantons who've pulled this stream together. A great initiative. Our thanks to everyone involved with Cricket Leinster this season, all the sponsors, all the councils who support the sport so well. Going to be a year we'll never forget, but it's ending in the most beautiful of circumstances with the home side already getting the celebrations out. They haven't got their hands on the trophy yet, but the dance moves are starting. We're going to leave you with some of those scenes on your screen. But for now, for me, Andrew Leonard, it's goodbye.